get a little love to Sil Nation.
Hey guys.
Zach says shout out.
Love this channel.
To Sil Nation.
Stay tuned.
Wake up in the morning, eyes crusty, heavy yawning. My phone keep going off, so I shut off the alarm and then head into the kitchen to get the coffee brewing. French roast with French vanilla, my own French revolution. Next movement is to tune into Coffee Talk with Sil. My girl is toss a yap if I tell her she needs to chill. I hear enough of the yapping from all of these goofy shills. Plus I'm trying to be informed of whatever's the latest deal, for real.
What's up? What's up? This is sylabdul here for the sylabdul podcast Wednesday edition. So I know we got the Wednesday crew coming up on here. Start a little later than usual today because that's life. We talk the latest in CVM and geek news. We are informative and objective, but somehow still biased. We got the main topic we're going to talk about a little bit today is this Batman situation. James Gunn, Matt Reeves, is everyone imagining a struggle or is it really a struggle? Of all people, Andy Muschietti in a different language probably cleared it up today. So we're going to talk about that and get the panel's thoughts about that as well. Much love to Sil Nation, much love to the chat. Again, apologize for later start time, but we'll be back on track next week. See Jovic in the chat, Music City Soul, Fernando, what is good, Maria, and comics and everything. Yeah. Mike Charles, what the merger crowd, Matt. I mean, hey, like I said, everyone has like their what they thought was going to happen, and I just try to talk about what is happening, right? Shout out to you, Mike. So before we get to the thoughts of the panel, I want to briefly see where's my thing at. Okay, I don't have nothing loaded up right now. Okay, that's great. But just remind you that this channel is not monetized, but appreciate those who has been supporting my platform overall via Patreon. Links in the description. Just had a really cool Green Lantern conversation. Patrons only. So all the stuff that I'm hearing and stuff and scoops and stuff that's on the Patreon now because YouTube kind of sucks sometimes, but this channel is not monetized, so you can support via Patreon, CashApp links in the description, and Stream Elements via PayPal as well. So much appreciated for that. With the Patreon, there will be more kind of pop-up streams and stuff like that, so that would be cool. The interaction over there. Shout out to Jules in the chat, Carlos as well. So let's go ahead and get the folks on the panel here. Let me. Got too much stuff going on at one time. We got my sister, Danny Comics, and you've been killing it lately with these morning shows, right? That's the vibe right now.
Oh, right? Thank you. I think so. I think it's going all right. I'm having a good time. Yeah, I do it every day now. In the morning, 11:30 a.m. Eastern time, Monday through Friday.
Awesome.
Daily recap.
Yeah, good stuff there. Check out Danny's channel again. That's her handle there, and the links in the description. Things like that. We got Jules as well. Jules just had like a month off the channel, but she's back.
Apparently, I'm always taking breaks.
What's
up, everybody? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Belated, yeah. And then we got.
Oh, it's our first day back.
We've been back. We got Carlos. Real Talk Productions. What's good, man?
What's up? Finally, we made it on the stream. Finally, we're here.
Finally here, right? That's deep. We got Speedy. Speedy never misses, even in the multiverse.
That's right. What's going on, everybody?
All right. So, interesting chatter we've been seeing online. Now, with the show kind of starting a little late, it's going to be kind of a shorter show than usual. So, again, apologize for the expectations out there, but we're going to get this out there. This Batman conversation, really, I'm not even going to hesitate with this. We're just going to kind of jump into this. But actually, before we do that, we'll start with a little love first. Colin Farrell, Golden Globe winner, well deserved.
Well deserved.
what's the thoughts with that, Danny? You know, we kind of all knew what we was watching. We was like, okay, he's getting some awards for this, bro.
He's got to.
Yeah.
It's well deserved. He earned every second of that. If he didn't win, I would have wrote such a letter. I'm bummed that
Karen.
I'm bummed that Kristen Milioti got snubbed.
Yeah.
She had that in the bag. I'm sorry. Like Jodie Foster, she's a great actress, but that True Detective Night Country role wasn't really challenging. You know, she was the same character throughout the whole episode, the whole series. Kristen Milioti, I mean, she went from 0 to 120 throughout that whole.
They're like 3 different versions, I think, of Sophia, right?
Yeah. I really feel like that award was hers. But hey, there's also the Emmys and SAG Awards, Saturn. I don't know if it really be a Saturn Award, you know, category.
If it's a series, yeah.
Well,
okay,
Saturn's more sci-fi.
Right.
So but still, there's Emmys and stuff. So hopefully she gets it there. But Colin, man, deserved through and through.
Well, it's kind of a rule, like, you know, if you make yourself kind of ugly, you know, and you can act good, then you're going to win. You know,
if you put on a pound of makeup and do good acting, you might win.
Yep.
Exactly. So I think everyone has the same sentiments with that, you know, Colin Farrell deserved it. We always talk about the Emmys, so there's still a chance for Kristen, right, Carlos? Like, you know, I know you're still holding out for her to win.
No, I agree, and yeah, I agree with Danny. She got snubbed. You know, wifey should have won that. But Colin Farrell for sure, man. Like I think we would have rioted if he didn't win something for the Penguin, because it's so good. It was just so good. So I'm actually excited to hear that they are working on season 2 or in talks for season 2. So that's like, that even got me more hype. So yeah, man.
Yeah. No, definitely not. Jules, did you see the show yet? Because I know you waiting binge stuff.
I have not.
I'm not putting it out. I was right. I knew I was right when I said that.
I did,
but
online.
You've got to watch it. You've got to.
Yeah,
it's a good binge. You know, it's been like a couple months. You know, past a conversation, but yeah, I'm sure you'll watch it.
2025, maybe 2028, she'll see it. Yeah,
I give her this year for sure.
I'll watch it this year.
So,
I'm not making any promises. No.
That's what. Hey, I already know. Speedy.
Yes,
I didn't bump you down because of that. But Speedy.
What is
again,
this?
Again, though, we expected this, Speedy, right? And
we expected it. I mean, you know, it's in the performance. It was there. It was given. We expect them to win more awards than what else is there? Is there the Emmys? What else is there?
I mean, I think this is the start of the award season.
Yeah. So
the
Emmys, just the beginning.
Emmys, the
Razzie.
SAG Awards, the Razzies. There's a couple. Critics' Choice. There's Critics' Choice Awards.
Right.
There you go. Yeah. So
People's Choice
Awards. Just the beginning. It's just the beginning for them.
The Razzies are a weird show. I don't know, Danny. Like, it's almost like they try too hard to say, "Oh, this sucks." Like, you know, I don't know. Razzies, I'm kind of off of those.
Yeah.
They do it for the clicks.
Yeah.
They do it for the clicks.
It's like Twitter.
It's for the social media. It's for the hate.
That's life. That's life. But yeah, definitely happy for Colin Farrell, the Lauren LaFranc, the showrunner of the show, and that whole crew, and Matt Reeves, kind of like the godfather over all that stuff. And you know, they're going to get that second season, like Carlos was saying, and you know, we're all going to be watching. You know, when they do that. So that cool stuff with that. Overall, so speaking of the whole Matt Reeves world thing here, is everyone kind of up to date with I guess the chatter of Pattinson Batman? People are trying to will it into existence that he folds into the DCU, you know, with James Gunn, and I don't know, just is everyone aware of that? I guess that narrative out there with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. We've talked about it extensively on the show. There you go.
And we're going to talk about it again. So with that, it's almost like, okay, just in general, is it like an idea? Like, I can understand if Gunn comes into this and, DC Studios a couple years ago, and it's like, okay, we set up this new Superman. Okay, that's one thing. All right, we obviously need a Batman. Oh, there's a Batman right there, Robert Pattinson. So I mean, like Speedy, it's not like it wasn't like a bad idea at first, right? I understand.
No, it wasn't a bad idea, but I understand maybe Matt Reeves' stance. He's probably like, hey man, let me finish what I want to do. And then you got to understand James Gunn's stance. He's like, hey, I need to use the Batman character, and maybe having another Batman, is gonna, confuse normies, or general audience. We know, but general audience confusion is brand confusion, and
right.
He's trying to fix a brand, so you understand his stance.
Speedy's absolutely correct. He's
what? Go ahead, Dave.
Oh, I was just saying he's absolutely right. General audiences won't understand that. They won't. I mean, just
be like, why is there two Batmans? I don't understand.
Right.
DC's messing up.
Yeah, think about explaining it to your grandma.
Yep.
Like grandma is like, oh, but isn't that Batman? Who's Batman? Which one's really Batman? Though?
Is that really a thing though? Go ahead,
Yeah.
Colin.
I was
confused.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really gonna be on the intro to the movie. I think Gunn and possibly Reeves are gonna do, and Peter Safran. I feel like we don't really talk about Peter enough.
Yeah.
Peter Safran gets pushed aside.
Go sign the checks, Peter. Right.
Yeah. Well, what I think they're gonna do is maybe do like a different DC logo when it comes to Elseworld stuff, like a Matt Reeves and stuff like that. Maybe like a dark universe or something like that, just to distinguish the two, because that can pretty much answers the whole, like, for the general audience, like, what's the difference here? Okay, this is one universe. This is the DCU universe type of thing. I think eventually, once we get, maybe when Batman 2 comes out, maybe that's what they're trying to figure out right now. Maybe that's why it's taking too long. But maybe that's what they're trying to figure out.
Well, I mean, we had the cameo in Creature Commando's famous cameo right now, right?
Yeah.
We had the Batman on the Spike cameo.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, he's obviously wants to work on the character.
Right.
Shout out to Taco Cat playing Injustice 2 right now. That may confuse, the general audience, man. I don't know about that. But I mean, yeah, like I said, just the idea there's two different ones. I don't know if that breaks the general audience brain as much, as people say, but I do think it's a real thing where you don't want to do two Batman films like at the same time, like literally, Brave and the Bold. Probably, we'll have to wait until Reeves' film comes out, then you kind of can breathe and then do a separate one. I can see that.
But how long can they really breathe? Like, there's 2 years in between movies, so you're gonna have the Batman 2 come out in 2026, and then you have Brave and the Bold come out in 2028, 2027. Like, what is enough room for it to breathe? And then we won't get Batman 3 until like 2030. Like, that's insane.
I think.
Well, those kind of extreme. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Kelly.
Let's be realistic here.
Yeah. No, I see what you're saying.
I mean, okay. So let's say the scenario. Okay, Batman Part 2. Which we're going to talk more about. It's it's going to get made. It's going to get released. People. So 2026, and then it could be a real thing where it's like, okay, you want Brave and the Bold to come out 2028 at this point. And then will it be another 2 years? So will it be like 4 years between Batman 2 and 3?
Probably.
Right? I mean,
that's
actually a real thing. Yeah.
What's the movie that I think it's Tom Hanks, that the pirates come and they take over the ship?
We all know the movie.
Yeah, Captain Phillips.
Yeah, Captain Phillips, and then the pirate goes, look at me. I'm captain now. Okay, that's what he let Matt Reeves talk. Yeah. Okay. He went up to him and said, "Listen, come here, look at me. I'm in charge now. We're gonna push your movie back because I'm working on something." Okay,
yeah,
I think that's what happened.
Are we realistically gonna have two different Batman come out within a year of each other?
I think so,
so.
actually, and I think it's gonna be how Gunn has shown this new Batman. I think it's gonna be in cameos, like how he was in Creature Commandos. Like we're not gonna see him like obviously have a whole feature film, but we might see a sprinkle of Batman, like the Clayface movie that's coming out. Me and Sil were talking about it during the watch along last week. I think Gunn will do a kind of like a maybe a stunt double or something, but action scenes of Batman trying to fight, Clayface, but we're seeing Batman in the persona through Clayface's eyes type of thing, throughout different movies. That's how I think
it's a different, like this is a different one. Cause I mean, you could say like you have like a film version, and then you have like a TV version of like The Flash. You kind of have both of those kind of a thing. I know it's the weird history with DC, but
he's probably gonna have a Batman pop into these movies like Stan Lee in the Marvel movies. Like, oh, there's a Batman cameo.
Sprinkling in. I think that was effective. That was effective putting Batman in Creature Commandos. I thought that was very effective how they did that and animated, and it looked different. It's like, okay, that's not Patterson.
Definitely got people talking. I don't know what Aesir was saying about the universe not delivering, because Creature Commandos seems to be doing great, and he's got his own attention. He don't need to borrow from nobody else. He creates his own.
When that's what they're trying to do, create their own kind of fan base, really, But with Creature Commandos, I know a lot of people talk about viewership, and animated, and my channel really started on a couple of things. Snyderverse was one thing, but then also we looked at the numbers, right? So I'm not gonna let people get away with saying, "Oh, animated is," the viewership is terrible. Most animated projects are like not stacking up to live action. Like I can guarantee,
they never do.
Commandos, they don't have the same viewership that even the Acolyte has.
Yeah.
But the Acolyte was trash, right? Because more money was put into live action.
Look, I bet you anything Creature Commandos has way better viewership than the Acolyte. Oh Lord, it's already been greenlit for another season. So that doesn't say it's doing bad.
Right. No, obviously, I mean, it's Greenlight season 2. Now, of course, people will say, well, because Gunn's the co-CEO, so he's gonna
not of Max though, not of HBO.
But, there you go.
But people got exactly HBO is actually in on that decision as well, and
they have final
people got to understand too how this structure works. Was more of like a they have to agree on it, right? Of course, Danny, because on their platform, and they do have a say. So it's like, but Gunn can't just haphazardly just greenlight all of his stuff because he still answers to the big boss as well, WBD. So it just just a lot of narratives out there. It's like let's kind of relax.
Let's use our bit.
I'm just saying this is business with that as well. Now, as Fernando says here, it's a mistake to have two different Batmans same time. Casual's going to get confused. Like it or not, we need casual fans for these movies to make money. Well, and that's what that space, I think,
what
Jules was talking about.
I don't know, though, because, look, I'm at a state right now, the way I'm thinking about it. If we can have, at least with Marvel, like, we have these movies with, quote-unquote, different multiverses and different universes. You have the same guy playing different characters. Why can't a universe like like DC, have two Batmans? And we obviously distinguish that one is its own thing. It's a crime saga. And then this was part of this bigger universe. So it's I don't know.
I think, Carlos, like the biggest takeaway for that is just like a big time difference, right? Like we had Fantastic Four came out, in the 2000s with Chris Evans, and then Captain America came out, a few years later played by Chris Evans, right? So like people, it was in the field and everything was definitely different. One was Fox, one was Marvel. People kind of understood that differentiation as opposed to it being DC. Everything is DC. And we literally just saw these characters a couple years ago during the pandemic. So now you just saw Pattinson as Batman. You're telling me in 2-3 years, we're going to have another Batman. And plus we are still in that universe because the Penguin, we recognize him from the Batman movie. So yes, casuals will get confused. The general audience does not follow these storylines the way we do. So you have to, get out of your bubble. Not you, but people have to get out of the bubble and understand that, all because we're in tune doesn't mean everyone else.
Exactly. Is. Like we're the only weirdos. This community is the only weirdos that are going through articles going through articles and Twitter and having these discussions and
like
digging
everyday
at-
discussions. Too,
everyday discussions. And whether we care to admit it out loud or not, I'm just going to say it for you. The casual audience outnumbers us by a whole lot.
Yeah.
It's their we need their money. We need their money for this studio to keep going. And look, like you were saying, you had the Fox and you had the Marvel universe, and it was easier for people to differentiate because it was two different studios. These would be the same character in the same studio.
Yeah, not just the same actors playing different characters. These are different characters being played by. So you have like the opposite effect.
That comes on to marketing though too. I think you can package. You can have where I think we did have where it was a Joker going on over here, and then they start doing the Joaquin Phoenix Joker. There's a way to present this stuff. I think is the point. Now, just for just the idea,
people were very confused at that.
Yeah,
and plus,
casuals were still confused.
Do you guys think
Joker didn't have a lot of screen time in Suicide Squad either? So when Joaquin Phoenix came out, people were like, "Okay, well, this is a different Joker." It was obvious.
It felt a different thing. That's the point.
Do you guys think people will get really confused with the whole Robert Downey Jr. coming back as Doom?
I think they already are.
Okay. Okay. No, I just wanted to see.
We're talking about general people. I think general. I that's the first time I got like phone calls from like my grandma in a while, and she was like, Robert Downey Jr. He's coming back. And I was like, well, it's not Iron Man, but and so she was already confused. I was like, never mind, just wait till 2026. I'm not going to explain it anymore.
Now, I would say that the comic book nerds, like we can somewhat educate the general audience. Like our voice is pretty heard in those bubbles, or those, not the bubble, but in the mainstream. And if we make it loud enough noise, other people be like, oh, well, let me see what they're talking about, or I'm not going to watch it because it's not comic book accurate according to the nerds. So we have seen that happen previously. But again, if the trailer looks like trash, then there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
Well, exactly. Yeah. Like I said, you got to sell this stuff overall. And like Loki says here, you mean Gunn can't just announce 20 projects at once like he did already? Now, to be fair, all these projects may not make it, Loki. So, Gunn, again, he has some check and balances here. Danny was talking about HBO has to agree on these series.
Yep.
So he can't just give them hot trash, and then WB is funding their films as well. He can't just say, oh, no, let's do Authority like right now. Warner Brothers would be like, well, as far as Warner Brothers Discovery overall, they would be like, do you really need 150 million for the Authority that no one knows about? That's why you haven't heard any updates about that film. But you hear about Supergirl. So the point is, like, Gunn isn't like just unchecked as much as people try to say he is. Like he does have check and balances.
Yeah, we keep repeating this, and we'll just keep repeating it because it's the truth. And this has got to get drilled into a lot of heads. It's a business.
Yep.
It is a business. It is a business. It is a business. There are thousands of people who work for this company, and they have to get paid and feed their families. And in order for that to happen, that business has got to make money. It's got to make money. We can't just, oh, well, this person over here says this is what they really, really want, so we better do it. Like that, it doesn't work that way. They've got to make a profit, or there's nothing. So we either allow them to operate as a business and hopefully give us good quality content, or we get nothing, or we get nothing. Those are the only two options.
Yeah. I mean, and just to, add on to Danny's point, like we might not get big news until Superman comes out and we actually see what those numbers look like and how that's received. Because that's really going to dictate how far this Gunverse is going to go.
Right.
For sure.
Right.
For sure. Superman's really a key part of this. And, if the streets ain't feeling corn sweat Superman, then,
Pack it up.
That will reflect
like,
in the
you'll probably get the
numbers.
Supergirl.
Yeah.
And then
how far they are on that.
Really, the scenario I get with this is that I think the film's going to do good enough. I actually do believe that. But
I do too.
Let's say Superman comes out and it's not as successful, as they probably wanted it to be. Well, then it's like, okay, let's go ahead. Let's get that Brave and the Bold going. Let's get Batman going real quick. you know,
Batman always
just to keep the world. Yeah. So that's kind of what this is. Like Batman is that emergency, you know, break glass when
that
case of emergency
Superman doesn't do well.
That actually makes sense though, because like now, you know, Gunn, he likes to kind of work on obscure characters or different characters that haven't really been touched on before. So to have Batman as that saving grace, it only makes sense for him not to really touch Batman right now. So
yeah, so that's a real thing. Michael Charles says here, you know what's confusing? A convoluted story trying to shoehorn Batterson into a universes with a flying dog.
Who's doing that?
The Penguin series I saw, I do crypto cannot. I can't see a cop pop up in that Gotham and
and that's exactly why Reeves is not allowing his universe to conjoin with Gunn's. It just doesn't make any sense.
There's potential for mass confusion. There you go.
Yeah. It's more of a chance of Tony Sperano to show up in Batman.
That is actually true.
Yeah. You're absolutely right.
Penguin, that's a real thing. So interesting. So, like I said, that's gonna be one conversation with general audience and stuff like that. We'll see. That's why they're paid to, you know, actually, I guess, figure that stuff out. You know what I'm saying? Fernando says, very confident Superman is going to be the most successful movie in 2025. Well,
I wouldn't go that far.
Wow.
I think if it's not Superman, Jurassic World Rebirth, I think that's going to be huge.
Fantastic Four. Don't forget about.
I was just going to say that. Don't sleep on Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
That little trailer, the sizzle reel that they gave during SDCC was really good.
Really good. And
we heard too.
We're getting very few leaks on Fantastic Four.
I think that's going to be a sleeper.
Yeah, that's usually a big indication that they know they have something and they're protecting it very well.
Or they're hiding it.
They're hiding. Well, the studios will. The studios are the one who release leaks. They're the ones who do it, and they do it to try and drive the conversation, get some hype built up for it. And you notice the ones with the most leaks usually don't do as well.
Well, I think we all can agree at this point with James Gunn Superman. He wanted a lot of this stuff out there this past summer because like all of it was in the trailer. Like everything. I was covering all the behind the scenes stuff and then watching the trailer. I'm like, okay, Gunn did this on purpose. He actually wanted these images out there just to market it. You know what I mean? Fantastic Four, like y'all said, like next to nothing. You know, and that comes out right after Superman. We got next to nothing.
All I've gotten is what you gave us. That's it.
And it's like, and that wasn't even a lie, right? And then it's like when this actually comes out, they have a chance. I think the first trailer probably Super Bowl. As far as what I heard, Marvel's going to do like a sizzle reel. It's not going to be like, you know, Thunderbolts trailer, then then Fantastic Four, then it's going to be like just everything.
No, that's very financially efficient.
And then like Daredevil, you put the series in there and things like that, right? So they got a chance because all this stuff comes out this year. So they got a chance to really wow people just with it. Again, not a lot of footage of Fantastic Four, but you're just going to see those images and hide or
it's a hype reel for Marvel, which is great for the brand. It needs it.
That's gonna be exciting stuff for sure. For the Super Bowl, Chubby Teddy says, "I missed Snyderverse news. Where was you at last week, Chubby Teddy? I talk about Snyderverse every week. Where was you at? That's what I'm saying. Shout out to you, man. All right, but
after a hangover, it was New Year's.
Well, he probably was though. But and so and we're gonna get to the Matt Reeves stuff, and then again this struggle behind the scenes that's probably not really happening about Batman, but with the Super Bowl, because I think Superman trailer, we've all seen it. I think a lot of people like the top rows, our reaction to it. So shout out to us for the Superman trailer coverage.
Yeah.
And the general audience, I'm still kind of waiting to see it move the needle. Like we all can only speak from, I guess, our standpoint with this, but after that trailer, I still was kind of wondering if the trailer did great. Okay, let me just say this first. The trailer did great. It got that first conversation out there about, okay, this is Superman. This is how this Superman looks. Not the suit, not as baggy as you thought it was behind the scenes. On camera, it looks pretty good in the film. but did it really translate over to a crossover hit that that they probably need? I'm still on the fence with that. I guess what do y'all think? Because I think Super Bowl is the time where they're really going to be like, okay, grandmas, go watch Superman. You know what I mean? But
It has to be the
do you
Super Bowl
think?
because honestly, I've been around a lot of people during the holidays, and I have not heard not one person talking about the new Superman movie. Not
Really?
a group near me, no one in my inner circle, and they know I like this stuff. Not one person brought it up, so they need to go hard.
Like general people, because I was asking people during the holiday. I had family in town and stuff, and again, we're talking about people that's not in this conversation every day, right?
Yeah.
So it's like for them, I was like, hey, I was just I was
I
trying to test them.
Nothing.
I was trying to test them. I was like, y'all heard about the Superman trailer? And it was like, what? I was like, y'all didn't see the Superman trailer? So I just pulled up my phone. I was like, hey, like, you're not watching this? Like, what's going on? But it's like general audience, right?
Yeah.
What were you saying, Speedy?
That I seen people who I know don't know anything about, like, follow stuff the way we follow it. Share that Superman trailer, like like, oh my god, I can't believe this. Like I've seen a little test percentage of that. Some people I have like no idea, like they don't follow none of this stuff that closely. Share that Superman trailer and be really hype about it, and I was like, okay.
So it's kind of reaching.
Then of course there could be other people on the other side of the coin. Absolutely. Right. Fantastic Four though, I don't think
anything
normies are not. I don't even know it's probably even coming.
Right.
No, because I think the only trailer was the one at SDCC, which they weren't supposed to publicize. That was a leak. So you saw it. That's
I think Super Bowl. I think Fantastic Four. That'd probably be like a highlight of their Super Bowl sizzle reel. Is Fantastic Four, and it's like
what's
getting
that?
those images.
Yeah.
Just have Johnny Storm fly through the screen. It's like okay, the kids are gonna love it.
They're definitely gonna market Pedro Pascal. I think he's the smoking gun for Fantastic Four. People absolutely love him, and they'll follow him to the trenches. Like people don't.
Yeah,
well,
they love him.
The good thing about,
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say the good thing about Fantastic Four is that there's already been 3 Hollywood movies. Those characters.
Hey, funny story. Funny story this morning when I was getting ready for my morning stream, I noticed on my Plex service, they had the 1994 Fantastic Four movie.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So I watched it.
It's horribly good.
Oh, well,
I know. I think that audiences love Joseph Quinn also.
Yeah.
They love Eddie from Stranger Things.
Yeah. He's like in the Illuminati.
They're
gonna too many roles.
They are going to
Scientology.
They're gonna love him as Johnny Storm. I think Johnny Storm is gonna be a pretty big hit with the like my daughter's age crowd.
Yeah, the Gen Z kids, they love him.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Manny was saying something about Johnny getting killed off in Deadpool. Wolverine's gonna hurt this character. I'm like, no. I don't. No. It has. I don't think it's gonna have anything to do with it whatsoever. And
that was all Chris Evans. That's all that was. Chris Evans thing. Yeah.
Right. I think the Gen Z crowd especially is gonna go Abby Gone Snappy for Joe Quinn as.
Is that what they say?
Abby Gone Snappy. Yeah.
You know what you mean, so
I'm bringing it back. Quit giving me crap, man. Okay. And for the record, my cousin Xochitl, who her name starts with an X, says it absolutely is pronounced with a Z. So,
Jules, what would you say? I thought you said something, Jules.
No, I didn't say nothing.
I see what's going on here. But
Jules,
so anyway.
Jules, you were not here last time, and he's.
I didn't even know we had a stream last week.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm going to text you. Hangover, Jules.
I'm going to text you.
Happily.
I'm going to text you, Jules, because you were not here to back me up.
What happened?
You're in trouble.
I'm gonna have to text to you because it was rude. Okay, the way he pronounced Zolo Mariduena was
Cholo.
What did he say?
Cholo.
He said Cholo.
No, he said Cholo.
I said how he says it.
Nah, and I already talked about his lack of down in Kentucky. So.
Hey, to Sill's like, not to defend Sill, he stood on guard because even when we did the late night stream, he still called him Cholo later on.
Thank you.
That's what snitching means, Carlos. But
you know what, Sill? Put it to bed. Pull up the last Put up the last interview, him introducing himself. There you go.
All I'm saying is like he pronounces his name, but next time we'll have the video clip. We'll be ready. As I get just jumped by Jules and Danny,
Carlos had a little part to play in there too.
Carlos and Speedy, neither one of you came to my defense whatsoever. You just let him try to railroad me.
I did say Sholo. Yeah. I did say Sholo.
That's how I say. That's how I say.
There's a difference between SH and CH.
He definitely
it's my dialect. That's all it is.
It is not your dialect. Come on.
I have a thick tongue. But I'm just saying.
That's what he said. That's what she
said. That is what she said.
What has
anyway,
this become,
video
guys?
evidence, video audio evidence next week. How do you say Blue Beetle's name?
Zolomer Dueña.
That is also irrelevant to the conversation.
Damn it, y'all took
Listen,
it.
I think we've learned a valuable lesson here, and it is Jules is never allowed to leave me alone with you yahoos ever again.
That may be a deal right there. But Fernando says Pedro has to be marketed heavily. I mean, just to get back to Fantastic Four people.
Yes. Get back to the agenda.
I think Joseph Quinn definitely. Joseph Quinn is a sell. I think he definitely. But Pedro, that's a big name as well too.
That's a big name. That's it.
They have the millennials and the Gen X people covered with Pedro Pascal, and they have the Gen Z covered with that Joseph Quinn guy. So this movie is.
It was great. Yeah.
Is in good hands.
I will say though, it is kind of crazy because like in some of the circles I've been running, like general audience wise, like they're kind of iffy about Pedro as Mr. Fantastic. I'm not I'm excited to see what he's gonna do, but
I was too. But then when I saw the sizzle reel from SDCC, I was so sold in 3 seconds.
He's got this.
Right.
He's got this. The only people I really see really complain about Pedro playing Reed Richards are the hardcore dude nerds. Who really wanted John Krasinski. So those guys. So
I think it's also because they haven't general audience, just like how we were talking about it now. We haven't really seen anything, so they see Pedro Pascal and they're like, oh, that's different.
Yeah. Oh, another thing with him in it.
Yeah.
The Krasinski crowd, I get it. I mean, he was fan cast for years to be Reed Richards, and then they get him, in Doctor Strange, and it blows him up. I'm just like, okay.
Honestly,
I don't think they want to use him anymore.
It wasn't them. It was John Krasinski. John Krasinski didn't want to be in the MCU. He's like, I'll do the one and done. I don't want to do anything. Yeah, he said he doesn't want to do any big franchises. He's got his own stuff going on that he's doing, and he wants to stay open and available to do his own thing. So good for him.
I mean, as the kids say, Pedro Pascal has a lot of riz. So I think he's going to bring that.
Gen Z says that too. We're learning stuff.
Bring that to the Fantastic Four movie, which I think Mr. Fantastic to the general audience it seemed more like a scientist type of character. I don't know. What did you say, so?
Aura.
I think it's a new term I'm learning.
Aura is
no, Riz is short for charisma, which for us means something else. But charisma.
And that he's got. He's an attractive man, okay? He's sexy. He oozes the riz.
The salt and pepper looks good on him.
Oh, yeah, it does. Oh,
yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sure the film will be quality. I think that's what they're looking for.
That's what I saw.
So with that
ass is quality.
So Super Bowl first look, I think is going to be huge, for Fantastic Four. And I think that's when, again, Superman, they have to, I think, really give a good spot. And it could be just like we said this before, like Deadpool, Wolverine last year. It's like a 15-second spot, and then watch the rest on the internet. That's all Superman has to do to me for the general audience. Fantastic Four, I think they do got to really see a good look of the of Pedro and Joseph to get them going. So interesting with that. So let's get back into this Batman conversation overall, because. Again, I don't know if y'all realize, a lot of people, there's this online war every day. Every day
it's a war.
I
can hear Batman narrating right now.
Batman, people and this is what gets me. I think Carlos is going to understand when I say this, that I see people now, they're riding, they're saying, okay, Matt Reeves Gunn's trying to take your Batman, and we're going to defend Matt Reeves.
Yeah.
But then these same people was shitting on Pattinson when his film came out. So it's like, I don't get how these rules keep changing.
Yeah, it's a movement of goalposts. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, like we could talk ad nauseum about it, but it's just like I feel like that's just how everything is going to be moving forward. You know,
and how many of them are bots? Like, let's be honest.
That's a good
right.
Elon got to get on these bots, man. Like I thought he was killing these bots.
What's up, Elon? You want to be positive on Twitter? What you doing, bro?
I mean, there are a lot less bots than Instagram and Meta who are actually creating their own bots now. So
yeah,
that's wild. That's wild. But bots are still here. So yeah, that's a possibility. But there are some real accounts too. Maybe they were bots the whole time. I don't know. But there are some real accounts that they were ragging on Pattinson the whole time, and then it's just like, okay, justice for Pattinson. Oh, okay.
I guess the enemy of your enemy is my friend.
Yeah.
That's kind of how that goes.
Try to bring him onto the bandwagon of it all, and then try to.
I think that's what it is. But Gunn has talked about the Batman situation and Reeves as well. So I'm gonna pull up a clip of Gunn. I don't know if they're gonna ding me for this one.
James Gunn. And I'm Dean Laurie, and here are some of our favorite references and Easter eggs.
I'm gonna jump to
the Rotten Tomatoes.
I'm gonna jump to the Batman part here, where he appeared at the on the Creature Commander.
Spoiler.
So I mean, so first look at Batman. Now, me and Carlos, we did our live watch party last week. We got the finale tonight, right?
Yes, sir.
Or tomorrow morning, however you want to look at it.
We don't sleep on this podcast.
That was huge.
I sleep.
That was huge. The reveal of a Batman animated DCU.
That's definitely not Pattinson.
That's what I said. That's the first thing I said.
Well, so let's get Danny's thoughts. Let me get your thoughts, guys. You got to roll out in a few. I'm sure you was aware of this appearance. I guess what was the chatter on as far as what you saw from your end? Was it still people saying that could be Pattinson if you squint a little bit, or what do you think?
I heard a lot of people saying that it looks kind of Frank Miller-like because he's so boxy, which led a lot of other Snyder enthusiasts to say, that he's just trying to copy Batfleck. That's what he's doing. That looks like Batfleck.
Really? People said that? I didn't see that argument.
Yeah.
Wow.
Of course. That crowd will look for any opportunity at all to bring that into the conversation.
It does kind of look like it.
It looks like a Frank Miller to me.
Right, which the Batfleck was a Frank Miller inspired Batman, so it all kind of ties in.
So it looks like a Batman.
I'm not.
It looks like a Batman. It's you can see like his thigh muscle from here. Like you see that's not Pattinson.
Yeah,
that gave me Brave and the Bold look. You know,
he's Twink Batman.
He is.
So,
it could be very Brave and the Bold Batman. Look at that barrel chest.
Yeah.
Look at that.
We all love
coloring.
a big Batman.
Yeah. For me, it was mainly the belt of it all. Like it reminded me of the
chunky belt.
See the belt?
Yeah.
Oh, you
I
didn't
can
get
go
the
back
lightning
like
flash.
half a second.
Yeah, you can see the outline.
When the light hits it.
Yeah.
Yeah, go back.
I don't have
Bill.
that.
Do it better.
Did it pop up? Did it pop up when I think the lightning strike, right?
Lightning strike. Yeah.
There it is.
Oh, that's
belt.
Brave and the Bold. Yeah, that's Brave and the Bold.
That's a chunky belt.
Yeah.
That means he has everything in that utility belt.
Everything, even kryptonite.
Toys, bro.
Even
Definitely got a
kryptonite.
snack.
One punch.
It's got a snack.
Shark repellent.
It's a long night.
Condom.
Yes.
You never know.
You gotta be ready.
Tops.
There's some yellow.
Catwoman may flip up there, you know.
Hey, you
or
know.
Batgirl, depending on which Batman we're.
No, we don't ship the Batgirl thing. No, we don't ship that.
It happened. We have to make peace with that.
Well,
he kind of forced it.
It was
though.
a fever dream.
It was an Elseworld, right? It wasn't real.
Sure.
We did not ship the Batman thing. No.
It's creepy.
But this definitely a Frank Miller vibes, which predates everything here, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what we're getting with that, and so definitely not a Pattinson feel, like because just the utility belt alone eliminates Pattinson to me. Like that doesn't even look like
That's like half his torso.
Yeah.
If that.
He picked them britches up really high though.
I'm just saying. But I thought it was a great look. I thought again, I mean, did it was this the full look that we needed? It's like, no, I think the silhouette thing worked. But again, I just didn't get the Pattinson vibes. But so Gunn kind of talks about how he wants to continue, I guess, to use the Batman character, right? Which I found, again, very interesting.
I'm not ready to commit to that. I'm not ready to commit to that. So I am not ready to commit to that. When they first gave it to me, we saw a lot more Batman. And I was saying, I am not ready to commit to that. I'm not ready to commit to that. I'm not ready to commit to that. So I just like more silhouette, more silhouette, more.
So they had a longer scene. I heard this from other people as well that it was going to actually show the sequence where Batman swoops down and stops Dr. Phosphorus, which would have been cool, but it would have showed again the full suit. And that's what Gunn was saying. Like, I don't want y'all to really just because we don't know if we really could make that costume, look like that, overall, which is interesting. I don't know why I clicked on that. Michael, what are you talking about, man?
Pervert.
He probably did, had
everything's in the belt.
Lights on before he got to that warehouse.
And Talia's. Don't forget Talia.
Oh yeah.
Talia is kind of like
she at home.
Talia would be like Talia's like forcing him.
Yeah.
That's like care. I mean that. It should be a story about that. Like, I know I understand protecting women and stuff, but like Bruce, he gets mangled by Talia every time. Like he needs help.
He got drugged. That's how they got Damien.
I'm just saying, but no one.
Like an episode of Maury.
It's a man, so no
Jerry
one cares.
Springer,
is taking advantage of.
coming out.
Hashtag Bat2.
I'm just saying exactly.
Hashtag Bruce2.
Bruce2. I'm just saying. So he talks more again about Batman here. So let's go.
He already exists in this universe. Just like when we come to the Superman movie, we see the Superman already exists. He's already known by the people in Metropolis. And so, he's, we don't need to hear the origin story again.
So again, just jumping into it, just like the Superman thing, right? What did you guys say with that, Danny?
I was good. We don't need another Batman, or everyone knows. My grandma is 90 years old and she knows the Batman origin story. Everyone knows. That's like,
I mean, if you don't know Batman's origin story, like I definitely got to give it the side eye real hard. Like,
right? Like, where have you been? You learned that crap on accident. We all know.
You are born knowing that.
Right. We know Peter Parker's, we know Spider-Man's origin, we know Superman's origin, we know Batman's origin. We don't need to see it a bajillionth time. Right. It's unnecessary. Right. That's just wasting time and money. At that point.
Yeah. So I thought it was good. And that's the theme of this DCU world I'm getting is we're just jumping into a living, breathing DC world, which this is an interesting choice because usually we have that this first character that sets up the world, right? Like Man of Steel 2013 was the first, that we knew of. And you try to build out from there. Here is just Superman. That's probably, there's going to be heroes that predate. I'll just go ahead and say it. There's going to be heroes that predated Superman from even before he revealed himself. You're going to see that in other projects where it's going to be like, oh, this is maybe like a JSA thing, right? So I think this is a good choice to jump into, the middle.
I agree.
Of that. So let's see. And he's supposed to say something more about Batman here.
That's just a way to introduce that Batman is a part of this universe. He's an important part of this universe, and he has an impact on it, including defeating such pretty dangerous, scary people like Phosphorus, who's pretty tough.
But which Batman is it?
This is the DCU Batman.
That's the best answer.
Are we buying that?
What kind of question is that?
So what we need to do now is we need to, every time we see a casting rumor about Batman, we need to check out their build. That looks like Alan Richardson to me.
That's what I said during the stream. I was like, that's very Alan Richardson-esque when we were watching the live stream.
I mean, he has campaigned pretty hard. This was like months ago. I talked about this. Alan Richardson, Jensen Ackles went for it. I heard that he didn't get it. Then Alan Ritchson had like a whole campaign going on, according to people talking about this. I would not be mad at all if Alan Ritchson gets this. Like,
I don't think anybody would be mad at that. I mean, and on top of
No.
that, we know James Gunn loves the fan cast on social media. He
Yeah.
his decisions based on that. So
it's like Cap, and so with Ritchson, that's as close because we had Ben Affleck, right? It's like it's still a travesty we didn't get his film. Okay, if you want to get close to Batfleck, Ritchson has the build, and
he's massive.
Yeah,
he's a huge person.
And for those who have not seen Reacher, go watch Reacher, and then
you're missing out.
Understand why we're saying he needs to be Batman.
Look at him in Ungentlemanly Warfare. He dwarfed Henry Cavill.
Huge.
Yeah, isn't he like 6'6" or something like that? He was also Aquaman in Smallville.
Yes, he was
6'4" or higher. Yeah.
And Aquaman, his role as Aquaman in Smallville was his very first acting job. Before that, the only other time he'd ever been on TV, how he got his start was he was an American Idol reject.
Oh,
he's a talented dude.
So we got to put him in a musical, is what you're saying.
He has a voice.
He's got a voice.
Yeah, he was the one. He tried to like woo Paula Abdul. He like goes up to her, singing, holds her hand, and she's getting all flustered, like. But after that, he got cast as Aquaman
in the Reacher Amazon show. I mean, great.
Yeah, he's done well for himself.
If you want to see him do a musical, just watch one of those Titan episodes. I think there's like a whole musical.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. They wasted him so much in Titans. Oh my goodness, man.
And then blew him up. Like, it was crazy.
Yeah, so you got this powerhouse right here, and y'all just were not using him right. Like
blew him up while he was in bed.
I kind of like.
Well, I think that's when he got the Reacher job. I think he was like, "Get me out of here."
He was like weird Hawk and Dove love story that was in the Titans for some weird reason.
Yeah, it was so forced.
So weird.
Titans really upsetted me, but yeah, we'll talk about that another time. They had a chance there because they had the perfect Dick Grayson in Titans. Yeah, that's literally what you want Dick Grayson to be. Nightwing, like
we got our first Wonder Girl. We had Donna Troy
was wonderful.
Waited my whole life.
Connor Kent too.
And they killed her.
All the kids were good. All the kids were great in their roles. None of that they were not the issue with that.
The writing was the main problem with that story. But yeah, so Gunn's like it's DCU Batman, right? Because he knows. First of all, James Gunn's a troll. Okay, like y'all gotta understand. This guy's a huge troll. I know someone that I know someone that interviews him, I guess regularly, or has access to that, and. Like even they like know like this dude, he says stuff on purpose to get reactions.
Yeah, he does, people, and he knows it works.
Yeah, it does work because there's people talking.
Exactly. That is the main goal. Marketing, advertising. It is not like it used to be because of social media. People are on social media constantly throughout the day, and all you have to do, I call it, just drop it a little stomach flu into it, just something to disturb the shits a bit, get people back and forth talking, and that keeps them relevant. That keeps
you had that you had that Creature Commandos sex scene like a month ago, right? And everyone was like, "Oh my god, like this is the worst thing ever," and it's like Gunn's probably sitting back like they're talking about Creature Commandos, like they're talking of all shows. You know what I mean? All press is good press. I mean, that's one thing I've learned.
I mean,
as long as they're talking, that's the first rule. First rule of Hollywood. That's it. If you're in the conversation, that's all that matters.
That's what matters. So he goes and explains again, I guess, his plan for Batman. And again, the whole question with this, like, does it sound like Patterson? Does it? Like, we'll see what he says, right?
Listen, I gotta tell you, I just love Batman. I love him. I've loved him since I was a little kid. He's one of my favorite characters. I've gone on record in the past when I was at Marvel saying my favorite character is Batman. I love him, and we're gonna do great things with him. He's the most popular superhero in the world. And
so the main thing, plans for Batman, right? And I can see where 2 years ago he's like, "Hey, Reeves, like." We really want to make this Batman, work overall. And, I think that conversation happened a couple of years ago. recently, I don't know, like what he's talking about, all these major things they want to do. Reeves has plans for his Batman, so
yeah,
I don't see Gunn like stepping in and taking that. Well, what do y'all think? Carlos, what do you think with that?
No, I agree. I think we're gonna see. He's saying a lot of things to do with Batman. I think it's gonna be more like we know how much he loves his comic books, and one of the cool things we like about him is that he's really deep into the comic book stuff. So I say like a comic book, we're gonna see Batman in certain universes, maybe a newspaper clipping or a story being told by a reporter. Oh, I was just at Gotham, and I saw the Batman or something like that. Or maybe like we saw the silhouette in Creature Commandos. We'll see more of that. I think that's how he's going to implement that. He's going to let Reeves cook. Because, I mean, right now, they need, for one, we know WBD needs the money and all that stuff too. That's the long-going story. But as well, with winning these awards, Colin Farrell, like, why are you going to stop that? Why are you going to, bring that in here? Why not just continue where the money's going and keep two things going at the same time? That's how I see it.
Yeah. No, I think that's a real thing where the momentum of the crime saga. I mean, first off, the first Batman film made a pretty good profit, like over $770 million. For that, you have the spinoff series, which just won a Golden Globe for Best Actor. I mean, you got that momentum. Season 2 coming with that, so it doesn't make sense to derail that. As far as what's working, I can understand derailing what Patty Jenkins was doing with Wonder Woman. I get that. Though I love Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. After Wonder Woman 84, I think Gunn and WB was like, nah. They was like, nah, we ain't gonna do that. But as far as what works, yeah, let that continue.
Oh, she tried handed in a script. I guarantee you what happened was she handed in that script. He took one look at it, was like, nah. This, and this. And
the only thing the script from Patty Jenkins, the only place it belongs is in the trash.
Man.
She attempted to put in like a treatment for the film.
No
and what I heard was definitely Gunn and Safran. So I'll include Safran on this. They was like, nah. And then even WB was like,
try to make a sequel to that trash.
Yeah, everyone was like, nah.
Yeah, they all said no, and they're like, hey, if you really want to keep this, you need to fix all of this stuff here. And she was like, no, it's mine. No.
Yeah, I think they called for like a page 1 rewrite. Basically, they was like, just there's no reason. Why would we do this story when we need the money? You
don't even need to read the script to know it needed a page 1 rewrite.
That's deep. Now, Danny, you got to roll.
I do. I gotta go make dinner for the fam.
Well, family first for sure. But we'll be checking you out on your morning shows, and then back here next week.
Yes.
See you later, Danny.
Bye, guys.
Hi, Danny.
All right, Danny. All right, we're back to the Fandom 4. No, I'm sorry. No, but so the Patty Jenkins thing. I mean, I don't know, like I know, Carlos. I mean, obviously we love Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, and I think that was a package deal. That's when we lost Gal, really, when Patty was trying to do some weird shenanigans. You know what I'm saying?
You don't think that he was going to recast every single role at that point? Well, I really don't believe that Gal was going to come back.
So in 2022, because this is when this conversation happened, WB, like DeLuca and Abdi, they were basically given a few projects like a little grace to, you can make this because we're still waiting for Gunn. Superman's not gonna come out, for at that point like 3 years from that point. So you had the Todd Phillips. They was like, Todd Phillips, like, you're gonna be able to do your movie. Go ahead, which I don't know, mixed thoughts about Joker 2, but and then obviously Reeves, they was like, okay, yes, Gunn, Safran, y'all gonna start your unit, but these are kind of like grandfathered in projects, right? And so Patty Jenkins' Wonder Woman 3 was actually one that they were going to pass through as well.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah, and because of contractual things and stuff like that, but it's just, Todd Phillips, they was like, they let him stay in his own corner. They're like, you made $1 billion, just do whatever you want for part 2, and then they regretted it. I like the film, but they regretted giving him that grace. And then, like I said, Reeves, the Crime Saga is doing great. And then it was like, okay, Patty Jenkins. Yes, Wonder Woman 84 was terrible, but it did good on streaming actually, which I know people think that doesn't matter, but they did do good on streaming. And they were going to give her a chance, but she's tried to hand in a BS story and just kind of killed it. And killed it overall. So.
Yeah, I mean, it obviously did good because Wonder Woman 1 was so well received. So everyone was curious about the sequel and excited, and she just completely destroyed any excitement towards Wonder Woman.
Yeah, that was, man. And see, I knew I was coping hard because I was trying to like make that film seem good to me. I was like, okay, it was a good opening sequence, which
it was not. That shit was cheesy as hell.
No.
He said, nah.
I can't even get the opening sequence. Oh, go. But so anyway, that's good. That's done overall. So I think he finished his quote here.
I can't wait for people.
Yeah. So there's the thing. I mean, it sounds like he wants his own Batman, Speedy. That's from that quote.
Yeah,
what Gunn was talking about.
Yeah, he's got his own. He's got his own designs on the story he wants to tell with Batman. I mean, it's obvious in all his interviews and the way.
I agree. I think he's gonna go for his own guy.
Yeah. And another piece of evidence here. Again, the narrative is Gunn wants to take Reeves' lunch money and his Batman. And Gunn, the way he was sounding there again, he's like, hey, I just, I got my own ideas, what I want to do. It's like, okay. So we asked Reeves, right? This was another clip that we have here where Reeves talks about a recent one where everyone's been talking online about this clip. Reeves talking about Batman.
And it'd be exciting to see where we'll go from there.
And last thing for you, I spoke to James Gunn recently, and I asked him, obviously he talked about, letting you do your Reeves verse on his own. And I did ask him, have you contemplated recently integrating Rob into the DCU? And he said, they've talked about it because you talk about everything.
Sure, yeah.
What's your attitude about that at this point?
I mean, it really comes down to whether or not it makes sense. And, I think what's been great is there was really a kind of a story that I wanted to tell, we're calling the Epic Crime Saga and all of that, which is the thrust of what we wanted to do. And it's been important to me to be able to play that out. Yeah. And, James and Peter have been really, really great about that, and they're letting us do that. And, what the future brings, I can't really tell you. I have no idea right now, except that my head is down now about getting the Batman Part 2.
I don't know what part of that, like, people got that that they're either canceling the Batman 2 is what people say.
He seems sounds like he's super positive to let Gunn do whatever he wants as soon as he's done. That's what that sounds like to me.
Go ahead, Carlos.
No, well, I was gonna say, I think I talked about it in the last stream we did. That it just kind of feels like Reeves was like, I got a lot of stuff going on right now personally. I think it's time to, I need to focus on this. We know with the this version of Batman, the whole storyline is moving up with the Penguin and all that stuff. Let's let that breathe for a little bit. Let me focus on this. Then I can dive into writing a good script and then going on to the next thing. I mean, it's okay to take a little bit of a break when you've been working. You got to think he did the Batman and then it was like straight into the Penguin. And then he's been doing all this press and stuff like that. And also helping out James Gunn with the new DCU as well. So maybe he did need a little break to kind of like regroup and get some things going. And now he's going to get ready to start writing it. That's how I see it anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it sounds like that's, his focus is on, he said a few things there. First, that he kind of said, like, does it even make sense to put Patterson into, which is the first thing we said. I mean, we got this kaiju out there in this Penguin series. Those things don't mix to me overall. So, and then Reeves is saying, I have this idea, and Gunn and Safran is allowing us to do this crime saga. Now, I think what's mixing up people, they're thinking Reeves wants to do this for life. Like no, Reeves wants to be an auteur. Basically, I don't think he is yet, but I mean, I guess fans of Reeves don't attack me, but Reeves ain't there yet to me. But he doesn't want to do like 10 of these films. He has his story idea. He wants to finish the story, and then if you want to just take Patterson out of that, just go ahead and take him after that. But I just want to do my story first. Is what it sounds like. Right. Is what we're saying with that. So we'll let him finish his quote here.
Shooting and to make it something really, really special, which of course is the most important thing.
And if they decide, like, we really want Rob to be our DCU Batman?
I don't know. We'll have to see where that goes.
Fair enough. I won't.
And people took that where he's like, oh, there it is. They're trying to take Pattinson. It's like, well, no, you forgot everything he said before that. Reeves is like, at first, I'm going to shoot this Batman too.
You can't just pick and choose what was
right.
Right.
It's like, but that's what people do. He's like, he says, well, we'll see what happens. Yeah. No, that's what Reeves already said. I'm going to finish my story first, and then if you want to take Pattinson after that, go ahead.
Yeah,
like that's it. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's kind of loud and clear.
Yeah,
interesting. So we got Cygnus here. Muschietti said his Batman's on hold.
Maths. Yeah, we literally talked about that for like now.
What is it? He said if Muschietti said his Batman's on hold and Reeves' Batman isn't until 2027. No, what is it? Yeah, 2027. When are they able to actually do Gunn's Batman? 2030. Yeah, no, it'll definitely be a couple years. So let me pull up because Muschietti kind of, I know
Muschietti will cry, bro.
Yeah,
He'll cry in an interview, bro. He'll be like, "Oh, they're not letting me do."
He kind of already, and of course, I covered the entire thing. But L right there on the graphic design. But basically, can we see Batman? It belongs in. Okay, it's hard to see it from here. I'm gonna pull up another picture of it, but yeah, it's gonna be space. Basically, with the DCU, since it's an entire DCU world, they have the luxury of actually time. Well, in general, again, if the Superman does well, then they can wait till like 28, 29 for Brave and the Bold. Because you got this Superman hype, you got Supergirl already. That's about to start filming in a couple of days, and other stuff. So they have the luxury of time, I believe, for the Batman. So yeah, we'll see how that comes about. Overall, Jules, I don't know if me and you really talked about just the Batman first. Like, were you even a fan of Pattinson's Batman? I don't know if you.
No, I hated the casting.
Okay, yeah.
Not a Pattinson fan. I mean, I watched it because I was a Batman fan. I know
Jules, I know.
Great job with Planet of the Apes, but I was underwhelmed as you were with the Batman movie. It was very boring. I've never seen a Batman movie be that boring. So
you pitched her a big fat softball for her to hit, bro.
Yeah,
right.
It was a dog spot at this point, man.
Reeves Batman, like I said with that film, it's not a good Batman film.
Yeah.
It's good, like in that crime saga thing. Like it's almost like, okay, that's not the real Batman. So let me see what the Falcons are doing, right? Like,
I mean, at this point, just stay with that and don't even have a Batman. I guess like
it's.
I'm actually interested to see your take on watching the Penguin since you haven't seen it yet. Because I know he saw the Penguin and he's like, I got to go rewatch Batman.
Right,
it just made that second viewing for him a lot better. He didn't
the
sleep
world
as much.
Building.
Yeah,
the world building is what really convinced me. First, just the Penguin. You have me at Colin Farrell. Like, I'm a huge fan. Since like Minority Report with his work, and so I'm like, okay, whatever he does, I'm gonna check it out at least and see what happens. And I was blown away from the first scene in Penguin. I was like, yo, like this is. I'm feeling this whole Godfather thing that's going on here, and seeing that Gotham, I was like. Let me go back and watch the film because I was upset at Bratty Batman. That's what upset me about the reason.
We were all upset.
You know what I mean? And the constant walking.
Wank Batman, Gothic Batman.
Before it's too late. The slow motion, lipping into action.
And it was like a 3-hour Batman movie, and it was just extremely slow. And the best parts were when Colin Farrell was on screen. Like, no, I would not give it a second viewing. And one was enough.
Zoe Kravitz was great too. Like when they was like moving it around, it's like, okay, Bruce, you go over there and cry for like 30 minutes, right? And then it's like, oh, this is a good movie. I was like, I'm kind of feeling this, what's going on?
I was disappointed with Zoe Kravitz, actually. I think she was very wooden in the role. She didn't really show much range and emotion. And I was actually excited about her being Catwoman because she dedefinitely has the look. Just her performance was not as expected.
I thought she was great. Yeah, we agree to disagree on that, but it's like it made the film the world building of Gotham made and Penguin made the Batman film a little bit better to me in hindsight, of course. But for the final piece of evidence, again, if people were saying, oh, they have to fold in, these worlds. and this was back and forth. And again, I don't know who they were arguing with. They was like arguing with themselves. Like one day they was like, they're gonna fold it. Like, no, they're not. And it's like the same account. But Andy Muschietti, I think they put this to bed. Well, actually, I'm gonna guarantee this doesn't put it to bed. But he says in a video that's out there's a Batman that everyone knows is the Batman that belongs in the new universe. So that's what Gunn was saying. Like, you're jumping into a world, that has Batman already. He says the Batman of Matt Reeves is obvious. It's obvious he's not from the new universe. Like it's almost like Muschietti's like looking at us like, y'all stupid for arguing this. Like obviously it's not. Now that video is in Spanish, so people are saying to keep their narrative.
Interviews, and he be saying wild stuff and thinking that
because he's very comfortable. He be talking like some slick shit. He be like, these Americans from F these Americans. I'm like, whoa, Muschietti,
translate, we
chill, bro. Bro. Yeah, we could find out what you're saying, bro. Yeah. But it's like so.
There's Puerto Ricans over there.
But he's over there just spitting this. But no, he so people are like, oh, maybe he didn't understand the question. It's like, no, the whole interview was in Spanish. He understood what he was saying. Yeah. Like it's like people, and that's why I said on Twitter, I'm like, that's cognitive dissonance, meaning I went to school for psychology, but then it's like
it's dropping all them big words on us. Jeez.
But it's basically you refuse the truth. That's basically the simplest way to say it. Like you're presented with facts and you're still stuck on your view.
Yeah.
You rather reject the truth to, you know what I'm saying? So that's what, cognitive dissonance. That's what it is. And we see it every day on Twitter because everyone, they want their viewpoint to be right.
Okay, gotcha.
Right. So that's what people said. They said, but that's what they said. They're saying like, yo, he didn't understand the question. But the question was in Spanish, bro.
Crazy.
New City, bro. How's he not gonna understand a Spanish question when he speaks Spanish? That's his language.
Where is he from? Brazil or
something?
Argentina.
I'm actually surprised.
I know it's one of them.
I'm actually surprised in what he said here that more people aren't talking about it. I mean, it's again, grain of salt here, but like he says, there is a Batman that everyone knows that is Batman that belongs in this new universe. I think that saying right there that there is a Batman everyone knows, like. If I was reading this in another standpoint, I'll be like, who's he talking about, Batfleck?
Yeah, I think this is like a translation issue.
Yeah, okay.
Probably missing some punctuation or something.
Okay.
Well, he's saying new universe. He's saying that the existing DC world.
There's a Batman that everyone knows is Batman, which is, past tense. That belongs in the new universe.
This Batman has always been in this universe.
Right, so it's very confusing. Anyone
Similar
can easily
to Superman.
think. Anybody can easily think he's talking about Batfleck because that's the only Batman, either him or Keaton, right?
Right.
It depends on what's in your mind. Like you want Batfleck, Jules, so that's how you read.
I mean, like, look, like I'm ready for a new Batman, right?
Yeah.
So and I knew it wasn't gonna be Pattinson, but reading that real quick, I had to kind of do a double take. I was like, wait a minute,
you have to. It's written really badly. I bet you if I see the original, like all of us here probably speak.
Or if I just read it in Spanish,
we'll be able to understand better. This is bad translation.
I think the key is the new universe. I think is the key.
Right.
It is.
That's what he's trying to get across, and he's just saying Reeves got his own thing, y'all. Like, And as far as what I heard, it was like last year, Muschietti is at least co-writing his Batman film or a Bat Family film. It's going to be because you're going to see everyone
with Gunn,
Nightwing, Batgirl. Everyone's going to be in that film, but it's going to focus on Damian, obviously.
Yeah.
But so he's at least co-writing it. So again, he's getting these ideas together.
Because James Gunn can't write it all by himself, but he wants to be part of everything.
Well, thankfully, I don't want Gunn to write all this stuff like that. That was the first thing. When they start saying, okay, Lanterns and Supergirl and someone else is writing them, I'm like, oh, okay. Like, because I don't want Gunn to write everything. No, like Gunn, you have a lot on your plate.
He kind of will.
How's he go?
He's co-writing this, right?
No, Gunn. No. I don't know if Gunn's co-writing this one. Muschietti is supposed to co-write it, but Gunn has a lot of ideas, though. Well, Gunn's going to write like hella notes for this film because he loves Batman. Yeah, so it's gonna be notes every day, like, hey, Yeah, put Batgirl in there or something. He's gonna do something.
We're just beating a dead horse here. Like,
Yeah.
Pattinson is not in the DCU. Let it go. We're gonna get a brand new Batman. Look forward to that. We're gonna get Damian.
Like what Jules
Good
said.
take,
Like what
Jules.
Jules said.
Yeah.
That really summed up the whole show today. Yeah.
Retweet.
So, like, why did we do this whole show? That's all Jules had to say. Sydney says the Penguin show was cool. The world Reeves created is dope. Batman sucks ass. I agree. I don't like this Batman.
Yeah, he's horrible.
It's a world that created.
They should have had Aaron Taylor Johnson. I would have at least had some eye candy. He was the second option.
Not for the eye candy part, but it's like
the way that he was written so badly. At least we have something good to look at. Is my point.
I feel from your standpoint. With I just feel
that's what we needed, right?
No, I mean, but it'll make me fall asleep less.
No, I feel you now.
I slept good during that movie. Like,
I went to this film.
So did Sil.
No, I slept, man. I was out. I was out.
After we did the early stream for the trailer, man, I just put on Batman Went to Sleep.
Honestly, I wasn't mad at the movie until the final scene of him trying to figure out the final riddle. And I'm screaming at the movie. I'm screaming in my head, like, come on, Batman, you figured it out.
Oh, you're talking about the house.
Yeah, in the house.
Yeah, you're talking about when he sees
his
parents.
and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, come on, Batman, you figured it out. Let's go.
That got really
go
slow.
Save the city.
Yeah.
That movie was very, very slow.
He's like stuck there, and I'm like, what is going on here?
Like, bro, we like Sherlock Holmes or something. God damn. Like, come on, Batman.
Come on, Batman, let's go.
Bring it to action, man.
And I know that Alfred must speak like 5 different languages because he's freaking British. All Europeans speak multiple languages. Like, I'm sure he could have picked that up probably easily.
Sometimes.
Well, yeah, that's why they put him in the hospital. Like, oh, Alfred, we don't want you to help. Well, let's blow up Alfred.
And also, like, he was just a dickhead to Alfred. He was a dickhead to Alfred.
He was a dick to like everybody. He was just, I don't know if it was Pattinson.
He was emo.
Or
totally.
He was not a likable character at all.
Yeah, I went to that film because that's what upset me about the Batman was I wanted to see, again, we're very fresh off Batfleck, right? So this is what you chose to give us, right? Pattinson. So I'm like, bro, like, just make it just do something cool, Batman, like something, because I'm coming to, this is Batman. And that's also disappointing. Yeah, exactly. You get like, again, Frank Miller style Batman.
Animated series Batman.
All that what Batfleck gave us, and this was a downgrade of this version of Batman. The story was great. Like on second and third watch, I'm like, oh, I love this crime saga. It's just your Batman is trash. Like,
if your Batman is trash, then what are we really sticking out for? Like,
thanks to the Penguin show, it's like, oh, there's more interesting things.
There's life to this
than Batman.
I think also what's gonna not only what Penguin did for it, but that interview I think it's that same interview with Reeves. He also talked about in the longer version how like he really hopes everybody enjoys the new version of what Pattinson is bringing to the new Batman and Batman 2. So I'm interested to see, like, what does he mean by that? Like, is it going to
I'm sure they made some upgrades, hopefully.
Right, hopefully.
Oh, yeah, actually, let me see. I think I got another clip. Good segue there by Carlos. He streamed with me enough. We got Reeves, I think, talking more about his Batman.
Colin and I are talking about doing another season, and it's all about obviously we're doing the Batman 2. We got to get the timing right on that. But our plan is and our hope is absolutely to do another season. We just have to come up with the idea that we think is the right idea. Yeah. Which is
so your first thing, Penguin season 2, because that's how a lot of these projects go. It's like his first intention when he did the Batman, in 2022, he wasn't trying to say, oh, let me set up a Penguin series at first. It just became that. He was going to do like a Gotham show, a Gotham LAPD type thing, or Gotham Central, which would have been great. I think you get that Gordon. I like the new Gordon in the show. Like I think they could have did something really cool with that. But then it became Penguin, right? And I think the way Reeves does things, because he writes notoriously slow, or he gets ideas and stuff. I ain't gonna get into that. But he doesn't have like he has like an idea overarching, but then he still doesn't know beyond this project what he's going to do. You know, hence is why he's taking so long for the script. Of course, other personal things going on in his life, but so all of a sudden, Penguin comes out and it's a smash hit. And then HBO, as far as what I heard, they were beating down his door saying, "You got to do season 2, bro." Like after like 3 episodes of Penguin, they was like, "You got to do a season 2." Like the streets love it, you know? And so that's when he's like, well, man, okay, let me take it, brother. Let me put my pencil down over here for Batman Part 2. Let me pick up this pencil slowly over here. And let's think about Penguin season 2, you know? So that's how he works though, right? And it makes sense, right? I mean, people say it's a money grab, Carlos, but I mean, it's like, it makes sense that you do a season 2 of Penguin. Like, yeah.
Well, and here's the thing. I think we kind of talked about it too during that whole fiasco of Penguin is like you can use that show to kind of build up the new movies of Batman coming up as well. So it's like it's kind of like a no-brainer. You're making one to feed the other and vice versa, because we are going to see Penguin in Batman 2. It might be a minor role, not like the first Batman, but you know, we're still going to see him. We know he's in that universe. So it all leads into that big, you know, motion picture. So it makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. So, okay, so see, like I said, season 2. By the time Jules will watch season 1, I'm sure.
I'll probably binge season 1 right before season 2 comes out.
There you go. There you
go. Silly me. Yeah. All right.
Are you happy with obviously the release date changed for Batman Part 2?
Yeah.
You want the script to be in a good place?
Of course.
So are you happy with the progress you're making and the release date you have now?
Yes, absolutely. No, things are, I mean, this year we're going to be shooting and I'm very excited about it. And it's there's been a lot of stuff going on and, it's taken longer than I would have wanted. But also, I'm super excited about what we're doing. So I really can't wait to share that with everybody.
So how tough has it been to figure out your main villain? There have been a lot of rumors lately. I've even heard Freeze as a potential villain.
He tried. He tried.
He went like this too. The bad guy is.
Yes, of course. Or we'd really be in trouble.
Is it going to be surprising to the audience?
I hope so. Yeah, I think so. I think that the story is a continuation in a certain way and completely different in another, and is going to show a different sides of Rob. I mean, I think it's going to be really exciting. It's going to be really cool.
Do you pay attention to the rumors out?
All right, then that's what got to the whole Pattinson thing. But
let's hope he doesn't do with the villain what he did with the Riddler.
I'm thinking, well, first off, he's trying to sneak in that Mr. Freeze thing. He tried to sneak that in, right? Which Josh Horowitz, he's a great follow.
You saw his face. He went like this, Mr. Freeze.
That's a good question.
He was going.
You don't think he?
But he's not answering that. He should actually not even answer that.
Like,
I'm not the werewolf. I'm not the werewolf.
It was a double negative. Like, you're way off, and I'm not answering that. Like, you know.
Okay. Well, I'm thinking more like, I'm just not gonna say nothing.
Yeah, he just.
You know what I mean?
Like, I'm not going.
No.
He should have not.
But he heard Freeze, his head went like this.
But if you're talking about like a surprise, like that will be a surprise, because you're not gonna surprise me with like, because I heard early like Scarecrow, Mr. Pig, Two-Face. None of those will surprise me if he does any of those characters. I know he's doing Two-Face for sure. Like it'll be in the film somewhere, but Mr. Freeze will be a surprise in my opinion. I don't think nothing else was, because he said we will be surprised. I don't think nothing else will surprise us except like a Mr. Freeze or his own version of Clayface.
What if he does like a Poison Ivy? That would be a surprise. No one's talking about that.
Would it be a surprise? Well, I mean, it will be, because it's more fantastic,
yeah, it would be a surprise.
Right? Okay, it'll be a surprise.
No one's talking about it.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, you're right. I don't expect Poison Ivy, but yeah, that'll be a surprise. You got me. Okay.
He should just do Poison Ivy, Mr. Freeze, and Bane. You should just do that, man. Just bring him into the.
We've literally never seen that before. That would be amazing.
I don't think Poison Ivy's good. I'm just gonna say I don't think it's good. Mr. Freeze though may have some. Now, Hush. So Hush. What I'm learning is that a lot of people, I guess he kind of did a version of Hush in part 1, right? Yeah. With Riddler, which I didn't like that mashup either. That's another thing I didn't like about the first film. But the Hush villain, I just don't know if it's a good idea to do that one, Speedy. Like, I mean, I like the Hush film. I like the
to get sticky
comic and everything.
And get sticky and convoluted. It's definitely potential.
Yeah. Like Hush. If y'all read the comic Hush, like it's that run,
quarter hour.
It's like it has so many kind of plot holes in itself in the comic. You know what I mean? It's like I wouldn't even touch that live action.
I think since it's so crime heavy, I think so. I've been kind of like on a rewatch binge of Batman the Animated Series, and I really love how they did the Bane, early days in that show of like him being like a hired hitter working for different mob families. I think we're so crime heavy with the mob families. Bringing a character, maybe even like a side character of Bane, like bringing him in and kind of like trying to take down the Batman, I think that would be something cool in this Reeves.
I can see that being in season 2 of the Penguin.
That too.
That's a good point right there with Court of Owls. Y'all, I mean, like I said, if y'all watch my channel more than a year, y'all know I want Court of the Owls. Like a real.
The finale, that'll be the third movie.
They gotta be like in the background right now, though, Jules. Like you gotta be seeding this. Like in the first film, they did the whole the owl card, and I was like, okay, is that Court of Owls? Like, are we getting it? And it's like we didn't get it. But it's like in part 2, we gotta have a Court of Owls. I need to see some Talons, the unkillable Talons. Like I need to see that.
I would like it though if it starts in Penguin season 2, just in the background, and then kind of
I wouldn't mind
running things around, because they pretty much run Gotham, so it's like having them certain mafias.
It was perfect because part 1, once I rewatched the Batman, because at first I couldn't tell you the whole story, but then I rewatched it after Penguin. I'm like, oh, okay, this is a good story. So in the Batman, in the final act, like what you were saying, Speedy, where that final riddle, where it was okay. So Martha,
like there was a hiccup there in his brain or something like
Martha. Well, not the part where you got mad, but where he revealed Martha was an Arkham descendant, right?
Yes,
she was part of the Arkham family, and she had a mental illness, and they tried to hide it. And it was like it was a lot with that. And I was like, yo, and then from there, Thomas Wayne had some shady dealings with the Falcons, and so the Riddler, first off, at the end of that film, Speedy, was the Riddler acting like he didn't know Bruce was Batman, or was he trying to say, like, I know it, I ain't gonna tell, bro? Because he left that ambiguous to me.
It was very ambiguous on purpose. I guess maybe it's something they wanted to leave dangling to maybe use later.
Yeah,
I don't think he knew. I don't think he knew
because it was like because he was like Bruce Wayne. I'm like, okay, you're hamming it up, bro. Like, chill out. Yeah. But it was like okay. Then he switched. The Riddler was like switched it like Wayne was the next target, and so Batman standing there like, okay, so he doesn't know that I'm Batman. Like like all of us was like sitting there,
and then tying in the whole he saw his parents and all that stuff. I think he just knew of the story of Bruce Wayne. He didn't know that Bruce Wayne was actually Batman. But I think whoever set that up for the Riddler to do that knew that Batman is Bruce Wayne.
So who would that be? Just in theory.
The Court of Owls. Am I
Court of Owls? Okay, I like that connection. I like that connection there because they would know again of everybody's sins, so to speak, in Gotham, including Thomas Wayne again, because that was a bombshell. Rewatching the Batman, the first time I watched it, I was probably asleep when it happened. But when I watched it again, knowing that Thomas Wayne had that connection with the Falcons, I was like, oh, that's juicy right there. I'm like, okay, I didn't expect that one. Good job right there, Reeves, on that one. And they left that ambiguous. And then Falcon dies before you find out the truth on it. So it's like, okay, you got me with that one. Like that. So you got to do the Court of Owls. This is my point. Yeah. You got to do the Court of Owls after all that convoluted exposition with that. So, but I think one thing we can say for sure, like, is obviously Reeves has his own separate Batman. Let him build out that world, that crime saga, that gritty Gotham. Exactly. And Gunn, go be fantastical. Have him, fight all the colorful villains you want, in the DCU, the whole Bat family, and the Damian thing, I think that's the main thing. I think people should have been like, are we going to age up Patterson like 20 years? Or is that what we're going to do?
It'll be Speedy's theory where they'll just have to recast Patterson, but it'll be the same Batman. Like age him up and cast somebody new. Yeah, I don't like that idea, but I'm just saying, like, if they were to do it, it'll be Speedy's theory.
Pattinson's already in his 40s. They don't need to recast. They literally just let him be
Well,
his
my
age.
longer
Damon's
theory
what, 12-year-old?
was they would fulfill, whatever Matt Reeves' idea is, and then open some kind of portal at the end of Batman Part 3, and and now he's in some weird universe,
Sounds like the Flash.
Or the Flash messed up something else.
Yeah. Sounds like a Flash.
You know what I mean? And now he's in this weird universe, and he's like, "What the heck happened?"
That's wild. That's wild. Yeah, but
that's a very
like I said,
booky, anime kind of execution.
Right.
They can definitely go with that overall now. So I think we kind of settled the mystery with that. It's two separate Batman. I think they want to let Reeves get his film out first. It's almost like, and let me know if y'all think the same with this. It's almost like they want to get Reeves Batman out, and they're not even going to allow Brave and the Bold to get out before Reeves does his Batman 2. What you think, Carlos?
Yeah, I said it earlier with what Gunn said. He says he is going to use his Batman from the DCU, but we're not going to really see a full motion picture of him. I don't see. We really don't need to right now. I mean, how he's sprinkling him in, seeing his silhouette, and he kept on hammering on that word. I only want silhouette. I think we're going to see that for the coming years until Matt Reeves is done, or at least to a point to where, okay, now it's time to roll out Brave and the Bold. So that's what I think anyway.
Yeah, I think, and it's smart, right? I mean, business. We're talking about business, right? Like, yeah. We hope the general audience will understand there's a difference, but it makes sense to, like, Reeves is kind of hot right now. The Crime Saga. Let's get that film out, and then we'll do again Bat Family 28, 29, or 30 if you ask Jules. Is what they would do. Poison Ivy has to be the first villain of DCU Batman. So Jules, you struck a chord with people in the chat about Poison Ivy, right? You kind of pushed that pretty hard.
I mean, it wasn't fully serious, but
no, it's your fault, Jules.
Yeah, way to go, Jules. Way to go.
No, just whatever you say here is law. When you say it, right? So yeah, I'm looking forward to what they do. Like I said, for both versions. But right now, our focus, as far as Batman related, is on Reeves and the Crime Saga. So we'll see what they got. They're supposed to go into production by, I think, the end of spring. We'll see if they make it.
Oh, I didn't know they were actually going into production this year. So we actually get this on time now.
We'll see. Well, that's why they pushed back that release date, 2027. Yeah. So as long as they get in production this year, they'll make the 2027 date. Yeah. For sure. I got one more thing I want to throw to y'all. I know the crew, I don't know how y'all schedule is going right now, but I just want to throw one more story to y'all. And especially for Speedy, because it's Star Wars related. It's Star Wars related. So I just want to get your take on this, and we're going to wrap this up.
I don't like the headline. But.
So that's why I pulled it up. Now, first off, before we get to that, you got the Skeleton Crew going on right now with Star Wars.
Yeah.
After the Alka, like I've been so scorned. Like I try to start the press play on a Skeleton Crew. I hesitate. Are you liking the show?
I'm liking the show. I'm liking the show. It does start very juvenile and Goonies, fair. For the first 3 episodes, and family fun, family adventure, and lately, but this last 2 episodes, 4 and 5 maybe, has taken a kind of is starting to go a little dark. The kids are starting to realize that they messed up, that they're in trouble. People around them are getting murked. Like they're starting to take it a little bit more seriously. Betrayal is starting to happen. Things like that. Those are the things that are happening. It's starting to get a little real. Not in a like an adult way, but in a serious
consequences.
Way. Yeah, consequences way. Not in an adult way, like like Creature Commanders, for example. You know what I mean? But it's definitely like I really hate the 1 episode a week. I get why they do it, but for some products like this product, I don't think they should have done that. They should have just from these last 2 episodes, they should have just put it all out there and let people consume the whole product.
That's an interesting point right there.
It
because
doesn't work
like
with some shows with the way.
Yeah,
right.
I agree with
some shows got to be binged.
Yeah, if you watch episode 1 of Skeleton Crew, if you're like not feeling the the juvenile vibes, you're out.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. You're out. You're out. And there's no way I'm not getting you back unless you watch the show right now and heard that what I told you about 4 and 5, and if you decide you feel like investing in it now, But if it was all up, you would have been like, and you would have gotten through some of it and you were like, and watched the evolution of the theme, for where it's at right now. So
prime example, Invincible over at Prime. Like
Yeah.
if that would have all dropped.
Yeah.
You think with Invincible? That's kind of on the fence with me. I kind of like the week. Well,
I do. And some
I get your
products are
point
cool
though.
when they're week to week.
Yeah.
But I feel like just this specific one, and the way it's executed, I think it would have been better consumed if they just said here.
Weekly releases really only work for like really big phenomenon type shows, like a Game of Thrones,
Superman and Lois.
It's something like this where it's like whatever. It's like no, I'm gonna forget what happened at next week. Like just give me I'm in the mood.
That's the point. That's the point, Jules. Like appointment television, right?
Yeah,
like everything's not. You know what I mean?
And it also becomes like a long time discourse too. Like we're talking about it week to week, or YouTube and podcasters and people in general online are just talking about it episode to episode. You know what I mean? So it stays in the algorithm, for lack of better words. You know what I mean? So that's one way. That's one reason why they do it week to week.
Yeah, we know that, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But it's like they blew that load with Acolyte. Like that was their chance to do that week to week. Like we are. I didn't mean to kill that. Hold up, let me pull that back up. But that Acolyte, the money they put into that show. I understand Obi-Wan. Yeah, we'll talk about Obi-Wan every week, even if that show was kind of mid. In my opinion, but it was better than Acolyte. You know what I mean? But so it's like we can have that conversation every week about Obi-Wan and like,
because Obi-Wan actually has history. Yeah,
right.
A reason to watch Obi-Wan. The Acolyte, it was brand new. No one knew what it was, and they knew it was bad when they published it. Like,
yeah. So Skeleton, after coming out, because again, I'm the general audience when it comes to Star Wars, right? I'm like, original trilogy, Ewoks, like that's me, right? That's about it. And so. And then prequel, prequel definitely. I think most people have grown to, appreciate the prequel.
The prequel is
trilogy
my kids,
more.
Is my son's Star Wars,
Right.
He
What I mean?
He thinks the original trilogy is kind of like,
Yeah, exactly. So it's like you have those first 6 episodes. It's like that's the general audience. That's in the zeitgeist for us. Like we know these first 6 episodes, and then Disney trilogy. Like we're not even going to talk about that right now. But with these shows, with the Acolyte, again, Obi-Wan, you got me because of his name. Mandalorian, that was for everyone. Everyone, except season 3. And then Acolyte left a bad taste in just general audience mouth, right? It wasn't just the hardcore. It was like they scorned all of us. And so with Skeleton Crew, it's just unfortunate. I think John Watts did this show, right?
Yes, John Watts. It's a John Watts product. He's not directing every episode, but he did the first one.
So it's like the brainchild on this, right? He's a showrunner, basically. And so he's a very talented dude. And so it's like this show was placed like in a bad spot, right? After Acolyte, because general audience, I don't know the viewership numbers of Skeleton Crew. I'm pretty sure it's not even on Acolyte level. Yeah. But word of mouth is better though. All right, that's what I'm hearing every day. Just people talk about Skeleton Crew that's still hanging on, and I was like, I'm gonna give it a chance eventually. But to the point of binging, they should just put the whole season out and just let people dig into it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because week to week wasn't going to carry the conversation.
Yeah,
for the show. It's
just a different show. I don't, and I sure we're already getting it week to week, and I recommend anybody who has a child still in their heart, in their soul, to go check it out. Enjoy it.
Yeah, I haven't started yet, but I'm gonna go ahead and watch a few episodes just to catch up, because I like that you're saying like it's it's not just some kind of bubblegum show.
Yeah,
it's like
it's very bubblegum, and it is what it is. That's the way it starts, It's evolved to this place right now that's like very compelling.
Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna check that out. Fernando talks about. I saw these reports earlier. Plans for the Knights of the Republic series, or like based on that world or that timeline. Speedy, what do you think of that? Have you heard those rumors, and what do you think?
Every time I see James Mangold, I think about the person who ruined the Indiana Jones. You know, any of his opinions and things that he says, I take with a grain of salt because.
Well, before you go forward, like this is not connected. This is a separate thing. The Knights of the Republic series is a separate thing. Okay,
it's Lucasfilm, and they let him. They let him mess it up. You know, so it's the same company. Or the same sub company. You know.
So your confidence isn't there.
No, my confidence is not there. I hope he never does this. I hope he never gets a chance to make whatever.
The force is weak with that one.
Yeah.
Right.
And I haven't even seen that Indiana Jones. So
it's a rumor right now as far as what Knights of the Republic. So we'll see. I'm gonna kind of treat that as grain of salt territory because at first I don't even know enough about that story or that time period to even. Am I supposed to be excited? I don't know. I mean, I think I'm supposed to with Knights of the Republic.
They're saying it might be that movie, but it's a possibility. Who knows?
So yeah. So what Mango? So okay. So you mentioned the Indy. First off, has everyone seen Indy 5 yet? Right? Have we seen the recent one?
I still haven't seen it, but I still hate
time.
It.
Yeah, I slept through most of it. Yeah.
Now this is.
I will say not seeing it and continue hate it.
It's almost like a Wonder Woman 84 vibe because like the opening.
I would rather watch Wonder Woman.
Well, that's really bad.
Yeah,
I'm just saying the opening sequence is pretty good with Dial of Destiny.
I'm sure. It's
you're right.
The opening sequence is really good.
Yeah, CGI stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, but
5
then
minutes
after
of the
that,
film.
I can't do it, guys. Sorry. I'm not there.
The Phoebe Cage person, like she took me out of the film every time she tried to make like a quip or something.
Yeah,
she took me out of the film. I was like, oh my god.
I was hoping
just to end with disappointment. I can't do it.
I was just hoping for Shia LaBeouf to show up. Like, hey, what's going on? You know? But, yeah.
They kind of wrote him out of the story, which that would have been cool to just bring Shia LaBeouf in there. You know, at the end. I mean, I guess no one cares if it's spoiled at this point, but they bring him at the end there because. You know, they talk about him in the film. So it's like, why don't I see his face?
Yeah,
Shia LaBeouf is a phone call away.
I think he was like under, lawsuits.
They killed him off screen.
Killed him off screen.
I think they did. I think they killed his character. That's right.
That's even worse. I don't even remember that, and I saw the movie.
That's right. He went to war. Yeah, he enlisted.
About the movie.
He enlisted in the war. Yeah, he died. So that's the ultimate FU. Send you off to war and then you die off screen. Like, oh my God. Crazy. Anyway, Mango. Let's get to this Mango before we can wrap this up. Because he's doing this ultimate prequel to Star Wars, right?
Or the Jedi. And doing the Jedi, the start of maybe the
story. Yeah, like the beginning of Jedi. And I already could tell it irks you. I already could tell. Now, what really
there's a lot of EU of that, and it depends on what he uses and what he doesn't. So I don't know.
This is the quote here. And I'm dying to get your response for that and everyone else. It says Mango says the Star Wars movie will be taking place 25,000 years before any known Star Wars movie takes place.
It sounds like a recent sci-fi product that it has been on TV lately, and I just can't put my finger on.
Hold on, Speedy. I know you're going to click on this one. So it says, it's an area and a playground that I've always wanted to explore 25,000 years before I was inspired as a teenager. I'm not that interested in being handcuffed by so much lore at this point that it's almost immovable and you can't please anybody. This sounds like James Mangold sounds scorned off Indy 5. And everything that happened with that, and then he's jumping on this before.
He should be.
Side note: before he does his DC, he's supposed to do his swamp thing, right? But he's doing his Star Wars first, and maybe the text ain't that big enough.
Wrap that up, man.
But Speedy, what do you think with the lore? So he's talking about canon. He doesn't want to worry about canon, Star Wars canon. So no Skywalker, no prophecies. So that's what the Acolyte should have did. But go ahead, Speedy. What'd you say?
He's mad because he turned in a creative writing assignment in his English 3 class. You know, and then the professor told him, you're getting a D, bro. This isn't creative writing class. Okay, all we need you to do was You know, do the story beats. You know, but I think it's cool. I think from what we've seen already, he does want to be creative and take liberties, and I think doing that in the Star Wars universe would help that. The only problem with this is if you, so as I like what Music City Soul says, if Dune is that you? And here's the difference between Dune. And Dune is one of the inspirations for Star Wars. If you did not know that, one of the many inspirations for Star Wars. So in Dune's, a lot of people are not up on the lore and the novels for Dune, you know. So like I watched the whole Dune prophecy thing, and I didn't catch any of the Easter eggs or very little of the stuff, but I enjoyed the show for what it was, and I didn't feel handcuffed to be like, oh no, that's lore breaking. Gosh darn it. What the heck is Warner Brothers doing? You know, like I really just enjoyed the show for what it was, you know? And I thought it was cool. And your mileage may vary, you know, because it's art at the end of the day, right? Or not. But when you're talking about Star Wars, and there's just so much lore out there and so many people who are hard, sweaty nerds about it. When you do this, you have the potential for irking and creating a narrative that's going to drag down what you're working on. So it needs to be shepherded. It needs to be handled with kids' gloves, done right, with a somebody in Lucasfilm, you know, following closely, you know, maybe giving some extended old universe advice, you know, oh, maybe you should use this as what used to be in the old extended universe in the past, and you know, fans would like that, and you know, and really worked on, and you know, a script that's really written and rewritten and written again and combed through with a fine-tooth comb, and then maybe this will be appreciated better than just, oh, we're just gonna go 25,000 years in the past and do whatever, you know, because it's gonna have way more scrutiny.
It sounds like a reboot, Speedy. That's what I'm getting with this.
It's really far in the past, so I don't take it as a reboot. No, I don't take it as a reboot. And there's plenty of extended universe stuff for the Jedi, and you look on YouTube, you could find a bunch of Star Wars explained things and theory stuff, and that they explain about all that past Jedi stuff. That's from the extended universe. But here take Star Wars, and you take the Dune product, and the Star Wars stuff. I don't care how many thousands of years in the universes you go with Star Wars, it's gonna get just so much scrutinized more than anything that Dune puts out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, Star Wars, that brand,
that's the nature of the brand and the beast.
As popular, it comes with the popularity of the brand. Even if people are like, shitting on it every show.
It's a lore landmine. Yeah. Star Wars is
still gonna be in the conversation.
Landmine.
It's like
if you mess up, make the wrong step, boom.
Yeah. So this take here, I mean, so like you said, you're not taking this as like a reboot, but it's almost like he said, he don't want to be handcuffed to any.
Don't want to be handcuffed, but you are.
Yeah.
You are by the fans, especially with Star Wars.
I mean, it's almost like saying like, oh, like I'm gonna do Superman, but no, I'm gonna go back 25,000 years. Like, it's like, bro, it's still Superman.
Bro. Yeah, there's so much lore and so much stuff and easy accessible things. Like if you want
the Force is still the Force.
If you want to know about Dune lore, you'd have to really dig. I don't think there's I don't know if somebody's got a YouTube.
I don't think so. Yeah, it's not. It's not as.
I mean, it's just, it is what it is. That's the brand. And Warner Brothers kind of went out with that. They don't have to. They don't have these bumpers on all the time.
Right.
Yeah, like Music says here. Yeah, the James Mangold, he's scared. Yeah. I'd rather, like, if I want to, like, I'm signing up for Star Wars, okay. I want to do, like, a Descendant of Skywalker. I want to jump in there.
Let's say,
you know what I mean?
Let's say Snyder's Rebel Moon, right? And next couple movies or whatever, he could go somewhere else, and we'll just say, okay. Why? Because there's nothing there. There's no basis for lore or anything. They're making up right now, like they're creating.
But this is Star Wars. You can't. Star Wars, you can't have what Zach. No matter what people feel about Rebel Moon, Zach has created a new franchise that they're doing spinoffs and stuff off of, and it's fresh. Star Wars, no, you don't have that luxury. You have a canon, a lore. Yeah. And if you sign up for that, you have to respect the lore. Yeah. You have to.
Yeah.
So no matter what he tries to do in the 25,000 years in the past, if they're like, so people know how to do that now, 25,000 years, no one knows. When you see, you know what I'm saying, the original trilogy, no one had those force abilities. It's already going to be messed up. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion. Yeah. With that, so that is what it is with Star Wars. Carlos, you got any thoughts with it? Because like I said, I'm very general. I don't know. I'm waiting to see, but Mango did the Logan film, so he has like a pass for me for about 10 years, right? I'm just gonna let y'all know that. So I'm gonna see what Mango does. He's gonna do DC real soon. But what do you think, Carlos, just with this idea of avoiding the lore?
Yeah, I'm kind of like you. I'm very general audience when it comes to this. I don't really know much. I mean, the only reason why I really haven't seen The Acolyte is because of everything horrible I've heard, and obviously what Speedy and Danny have said about it. So like, I have heard the same about Skeleton Crew, that it's good. So I might check it out just because, if I'm bored not doing anything, just put it on there and watch it. But with the whole lore thing, I mean, something that's been built for generations and for so long, like it's what he's pretty much doing is doing a very expensive fan film. That's what I'm getting from reading this article. He wants to do his own thing, and I like I mean, he's trying to do his own thing, his own lore, his own stuff. I mean, it's kind of what a fan film is. We've seen it multiple times, and I mean, it's like you said, it's James Mangold, Logan. So will I watch it? Yeah, I mean, I'm a movie buff. I'm gonna go watch it anyways. But is it gonna be good? That's I guess that's up to the audience to decide. I guess But that's like
we'll see. Jules, just in general, I know it's almost like just kind of wait and see, right? Because I know you've seen some of The Acolyte, right?
Yeah, whatever we watched together.
We talked about
that was terrible. But just
as far we only made it like halfway through.
That's selling me on Acolyte.
We got that far because of Danny.
I'm still trying to erase that from my brain.
Because of Danny.
It was because of Danny.
It's all Danny's fault. He's like, this watch party, nobody loves me. I'm just kidding, Danny. We love you.
Go ahead.
Just to add on to what you guys are saying, like Star Wars transcends any individual creative. Unless you're George Lucas, you don't really have a right to really have that much of an opinion. You can't just go around saying, well, I don't want to do this, so I'm going to go like multiple millennia in the past to just try and move away from this. Like, no, it still needs to kind of tie back into how we got there 25,000 years later.
Dang, millennia. That's crazy. That's crazy how far he's going back. Like he really is going, Oh my goodness.
You might as well just be in a different galaxy at this point. It's not even
I'll just do an original project.
Yeah.
Just do what Zack Snyder did with Rebel Moon. Make your own thing.
Exactly.
You got the Star Wars suburbs now, okay?
I mean, it's no way, Speedy. There's no way they could do like an Elseworld Star Wars. I don't think that's not even like in the.
You don't even need to. The universe is so large.
Here comes the lore part. The only lore part where they mess around with time and space is the Between Worlds, which was introduced in the Rebels TV show, where Ezra, I forget the rest of his name. He saves Ahsoka from death by being killed from Darth Vader, and that's how Ahsoka has that continuation in her own show and all that stuff, because she was saved in that area, that world between worlds, they call it. And nobody really knows. That's the only time they played around with it. And nobody really knows exactly how it works. If you go back into time and maybe like kill Luke Skywalker, would it really mess up all the wars? Nobody really knows how it would.
It's like it's almost Terminator like.
It is. And then how does it work? There's never been really explained. It was the only time that there's been like time manipulation, unless there's something in the extended universe, which I'm probably forgetting, which is quite possible, but none of that's canon. So
I just don't understand why they don't just go into a different galaxy. The universe is so vast, and they're just like stuck in this one galaxy. If you really want to make your own,
the story is
still under the lore, though, right?
Yeah. In the lore, technically, like our universe exists in Star Wars. Remember that this is a story from a long time ago. It says it in the crawl. In a galaxy far, far away. So. And,
so there are multiple galaxies that we can.
And including the creature, the ET creature, in Attack of the Clones, that also, it kind of like bridged for Star Wars nerds that, ET was actually on Earth. There was that creature on Earth, and those creatures exist in Star Wars. So Earth technically exists somewhere in a galaxy far, far away in the Star Wars lore. That's lore.
Yeah. I mean, hey, it's a reason why they're not going back into theaters. Yeah. And right. That's like true. Mind melding right there.
It is a little mind melding.
But that's what you sign up for. I'm saying, if you sign up for a Star Wars project, you're signing up for the lore. You can't backtrack, Mangold, and say, "Oh yeah, I don't want the lore." It's like, bro, like
then it's not Star Wars
up for this. Right. Yeah, you gotta take that on or back out, pull out.
I said you need to just wrap that up and start Swamp Thing.
Yeah. And technically, Fernando.
Yeah, exactly. I'm with you on that.
Disney kind of did a multiverse in Star Wars because they have these animated. I forget what they call it now. There's a word. Gosh, somebody help me.
They have the you talking about the Tales of the Jedi and Tales of the Sith?
That's lore. There's the other ones, the ones that they let people create.
It's kind of like a what if scenario.
What if?
I forgot what
scenes or vibes.
Visions. Star Wars Visions.
There you go.
Yeah. That's
technically, that's there.
They had some good stuff with that.
Yeah, that's they already started with alternate versions.
Yeah,
Mangold, get on that. Get on that, man.
That's what Mangold. He should call it Star Wars Vision for theatrical. That's what he should do. If that's what he wants to do, we're not worried about the lore, because that does kind of. I don't know if it breaks rules, Speedy, because I don't.
And then we don't own anything.
Hold the line that long. It just jumps around.
George Lucas sold Star Wars a long time ago for billions of dollars, guys, and we don't own any piece of it. Disney owns it now. They can do whatever the heck they want with it, whether we like it or not. So yeah, that's it. That's really the main.
Yeah, that's where we're at. So we'll see. Yeah. It just that's not good vibes from Mangold early though. He's like, I'm tired of this lore, man. I'm gonna do my own. It's like
because now us DC fans are questioning: are you gonna have that same sentiment when it comes to
Swamp Thing? Good point. Good point.
He's working on Swamp Thing, right?
Yeah, he signed on to do it, and he's supposed to write or at least co-write it and direct it. We're nowhere close. That's another 2029 project, right? Swamp Thing, but. It's like, bro, if you don't care about the lore of Swamp Thing, then you're gonna have a lot of pissed off DC Comics fans.
This just might not be his. He needs to come up with unique stuff. Yeah.
Why don't you just fall back off his fantasy shit?
I'm just saying, because with that Swamp Thing show, with how good that Swamp Thing show was, like you can't really you can't come in here and do a donut. That's not gonna happen.
No, yeah, that Swamp Thing show was pretty wild and on point. For sure. So interesting. But yeah, like I said, I wanted to get Speedy's take on that because he's a resident Star Wars fan. So we'll see what happens with Mangold and all that as we wrap this up. Any last minute comments or questions? Throw it in the chat. I want to address this here with Toby saying the Rogue Squadron movie in style of Top Gun could be incredibly exciting. Not sure about Patty though. As far as what I heard with production info, Rogue Squadron is back in production, right? It's back in early development. And Patty Jenkins is still attached to it, as far as what I heard. So I know people a couple years ago was like, "Oh, it's canceled and Patty's out and all this stuff." It's like, nah, I think it's back. It sounded like it's back, and that Patty's still attached to it. Speedy, I guess your general thoughts on that? That Rogue Squadron is a thing.
I love the X-Men, the X-wing TIE fighter. Dogfighting kind of idea of a story that would have been, the best explanation of that is literally in Skeleton Crew. There's a scene. Spoiler alert, I guess. There's a scene. I won't spoil it too much. There's a scene where X-wings come out and battle some pirates, and the kids are just looking at. They're like, this is the first time they've ever seen X-wings. They're just like, oh, what is that? Oh man, those things are cool, and that's kind of like everybody thought X-wing was cool. I mean, who didn't have an X-wing toy? Back then. So I think there's definitely a lot of potential for that. I don't know how they could ruin that, especially with the things that they built up with the Mandalorian. the gentleman that's the pilot, the New Republic pilot. They could use him. They could go a different route. They could do a lot of different things. I think there's a lot of potential there for a really cool movie.
I think, yeah. I mean, well, after Top Gun Maverick, right? Like, I think everyone was like, okay, just make it look cool. Have some, because I think that film, that's as close to a perfect film as I've seen, like in 20 years, Top Gun Maverick, because you get to that point in that third act, and it's like everything was on point, and the flight, you know, all that technology they use for that. That's what you're going up against when you're making a Rogue Squadron, whether you like it or not. It's got to be Top Gun Maverick level. So with Patty Jenkins,
it's
do we
Star
trust
Wars,
her?
but a different presentation. Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
And I think Lucasfilm really likes that idea. I mean, look at what Skeleton Crew is. It's a different presentation. Sorry, my noise gate is messing me up here.
But yeah, that's a
it's-
serious thing. Like
you know,
that's
even Acolyte, as horrible as it was, that was a different different flavor. You know, Skeleton Crew is
definitely
a different
different
flavor.
flavor.
Mandalorian is a Western. You know, for a sci-fi Western, for lack of better,
at least for 2 seasons,
definitely.
and third season, I don't know what they.
Third season, I don't know.
I don't know what they doing, because I mean that Mandalorian Grogu, like all they gotta do, like you just said, Speedy, just make it a Western film. Just make it. He's a bounty hunter. Like, don't do any other weird stuff in there. Go back to
It's gonna
season
be
one.
Like
you know,
we're gonna hear Grogu talk, and they're gonna build that character up. You know.
Yeah.
And I
We'll
don't know
see.
how.
We'll see.
I'm afraid. I'm kind of afraid for it, to be honest with you.
We got I am too. We got Fernando. Though I will say though, with Star Wars related, Speedy, that's the most confident thing I have. Coming up
That's funny.
is Mandalorian Grogu. Out of everything else they're doing,
messing that up at all.
Yeah, dude, that's his baby right there. So
a Hollywood presentation of his baby.
Yeah,
he's gonna kill it.
I think he's gonna. Yeah, I mean that's why it's taking so long. You know what I mean? They started filming last year. It's not coming out to 2026, so they're gonna take their time, you know, and get this out. So, yeah, I got a little confidence with that. Fernando says, "What's your thoughts on MCU recasting T'Challa for Black Panther 3?" A little context. A lot of people know about the reports where they said, they said that after the great Chadwick Boseman passed away, one of the Marvel heads, not Feige, but one of the other guys, was saying they're not going to recast T'Challa. That was the 616 Marvel Black Panther, and he passed away. So they did a whole film, the entire film, without T'Challa, which I still say that was a mistake. Still say, as much as I love Ryan Coogler and everyone attached to what he's doing, do your multiverse shenanigans. Like, that's when you do that. That's when you go ahead and do the weird stuff, because T'Challa, my main point, Chadwick Boseman, he would want T'Challa's character to carry on.
He would.
He wouldn't want his character just to die because he died.
A worthy actor to take the role.
Exactly.
Because he is a thespian, first and foremost.
Well, like people say, like do the multiverse and like have Michael B. Jordan become a version of Black Panther. Perfect. Like, it would have been a version where he wasn't, a bad guy. He thought he was right, but he was really wrong and genocidal. So flip that and make him Black Panther. I think the whole audience would have took that. Oh, Michael B. Jordan, he was the best part of the first film. So yeah. But anyway, but the point is that they didn't want to recast. Now they're looking to recast. I've heard for the longest he's going to be recast for at least by the end of Secret Wars for the new reboot, which isn't probably as extensive as people think. To join my Patreon, we'll talk about that more. Link in the description. But we're getting a new Black Panther, a new actor. So what, Carlos? I guess what do we think of that? Just thoughts on that.
I mean, I think they should have done that from the beginning, honestly. Because I think just story wise, we're always talking about confusing the general audience and all that stuff. I just kind of think it would have been better for the character for T'Challa to just, wait a little bit, then recast, and then come out with something new. And I mean, I'm okay with it, and I think it's more on your end on what you're saying on where it's going to be on that reboot side of things. It'll make much more sense going that route. And yeah, that's pretty much what I got on that.
Yeah. What Jules? What any thoughts on Black Panther?
I mean, I feel like it was a mistake to not recast him from jump. Chadwick Boseman would have wanted that anyway. So I'm glad that they're actually finally coming to their senses and doing it. I don't care about his sister. I'm sorry. That's not what I want.
Shuri, that's not empowerment? No? Okay.
No, I'm good.
You good? Speedy, what you think with this? Again,
I think
recasting inevitable.
I think Chadwick Boseman will want somebody to a different actor, and he would expect that.
Yep.
Situation.
I agree.
If he was here,
I agree.
And
100% with that. I think whatever, he was an actor's Chadwick Boseman. I mean, I followed him. He was on Fringe, the TV show Fringe, bro. That's as long as I followed his career back in the day.
It was.
And I know he will want just someone. Obviously, he wanted to uplift the role, but then have someone worthy come through. Like what I set up. Like go ahead and slam dunk that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Don't just stop everything. It's like
I think he would have loved it.
Because I mean, this is the equivalent. Like when Christopher Reeves passed away. Oh, we can't have Brandon Routh. We can't have Henry Cavill be Superman. Like, huh?
Yeah.
It's like what? Insane. What are we talking about? Yeah. Let's just recast. Let's keep this going in his honor.
There's also the whole racial thing to it too. Like, there's not that many mainstream Black characters in comic books, right? So now you're just taking one more away that an actor can potentially, get that job.
Facts.
Yeah, exactly. So it's people that's for like the, for lack of a better term, the diversity hires and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is Black Panther, so like that's just an easy layup right there. Like, just give us another Black Panther.
Yeah, the movie
another worthy performer. Yeah. So, yeah. So I guess they're coming to their senses. So great. Again, according to the rumor, he's supposed to show up in one of the Avengers films coming up. For the longest, but late great Mikey Sutton said Secret Wars a couple years ago. So, but then I heard from separate sources corroborating with that. So we're getting a new Black Panther. It's just a matter of when. So, but they left a lot of money on the table. They should have just did a Black Panther story for Wakanda Forever. They should have did that. You would have made double your amount of money, and it would have still honored Chadwick Boseman.
Would have paid a homage to him,
Yeah,
exactly. So, missed opportunity. That's what Marvel's been doing. Phase 4. We'll see what happens going forward. We got Maria saying, "Do you think the drama between Kevin, I'm assuming Feige, and Tom Holland over the direction of Spider-Man 4?
What I missed? What's the tea?
Yeah. What's going on there? I didn't know there was issues.
I don't know the drama between them two. I just know Sony has been for the longest saying we want another No Way Home, and Feige's like, can we temper that down a little bit? Like we want kind of like street Spider-Man. And it sounds like Sony, which Tom Holland has signed on to Sony. Yeah, sounds like that they want this the bigger story, with multiple Spider-Man, and that's right after Doomsday, right? So Avengers Doomsday, and then Spider-Man comes out after that. Sony's like, no, we want to tie into this. Don't leave us on the sideline. And Feige's like, can we kind of leave Spider-Man over here? I don't know. Either way,
I don't agree with Feige if that's the case.
So this is what it means, though, when it's like two separate sides here. So No Way Home, again, you're saying multiverse Spider-Man. He has that moment with this new RDJ Doom and all this stuff going on, worlds colliding and stuff like that. Feige saying, let's chill out. Spider-Man, Daredevil, Kingpin, possibly Black Cat, thing over here.
Right.
And then we'll just see where the world ends up after Secret Wars. I don't know. Carlos, you're saying you're rather the more Daredevil type approach thing, or?
Well, yeah, like No Way Home, as in like what you're bringing back Toby and all them, and like I'm cool with that. I mean, when aren't we supposed to be seeing Venom, or is that leading into Secret Wars more?
That would be if they do the big No Way Home style thing. Then that's when you'll get Venom, Noel. Now, there's new reports saying they still may shoehorn in Daredevil in the, because you're talking about Avengers Doomsday, all these worlds ending.
Yeah.
But you'll get more of a Daredevil story if you tamper it down, in my opinion. But so, I mean, either way, it probably could work either way. I'd rather the street level story with Daredevil.
I mean don't get me wrong. I would love to see Daredevil and Spider-Man on the same screen together. We haven't seen that live action before. I would buy in on that. But yeah, I mean, if there's an opportunity to make something like a No Way Home again,
there's a big rumor that in this Friendly Neighborhood animated show that's come out, that Daredevil is in that show, and he's voiced by
Charlie Cox.
MCU by Charlie Cox. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a real thing. Yeah, and I think that's gonna get some buzz to that show because I know people have feelings about that show as well.
I'm excited for that show.
And that's not MCU related.
Right. It's like an Elseworld type thing. So
what if?
Yeah. So I mean, they could go either way with it. Jules, what are you thinking? And first off, I know you've seen No Way Home, Jules, right? Like
that's the last one.
Yeah, with Toby Maguire.
Honestly, I didn't get through the second one. So no.
So you didn't see the recent one where Doctor Strange was in there and Toby Maguire, Andrew Garfield.
That's number 3.
No, with Jake Gyllenhaal. No, that's number 2.
No, the second one. No, I forgive you if you didn't finish that one. That's cool.
So I haven't watched the third one because I didn't finish the second.
You haven't seen No Way Home. Okay.
You haven't finished the second one though?
So what we gonna do?
I
forgive you for part 2. I understand.
How did you move on with your life after not seeing it?
It's been a challenge watching Phase 4 or Phase 3 MCU stuff. I'm sorry.
I gotta say, No Way Home is probably the best.
So we're just gonna watch that, Jules. Like just stay tuned. I'm just gonna have you watch that.
All right.
Yeah. We'll pull you in some kind of feed or something. That has to happen. Like for it just has to happen. I mean, but
you imagine she watches it, she comes back, she's like, "Why'd y'all make me watch that movie?" Like that movie.
I think she'll like that one. I think Jules likes the cameos. I think after you saw Deadpool Wolverine, Jules, I was like, okay.
Yeah, but Deadpool Wolverine was actually like the first 2 movies were actually good. So watching the third one was easy. This is like okay to like
Holland Spider-Man. Well, Holland Spider-Man, because I hear this more than probably people realize. Like a lot of people wasn't on board for the first 2 films. Like Far From Home wasn't the jam for. I like the Mysterio. Mysterio just sold it for me. I know it's Gyllenhaal, but still, I mean, Mysterio was great. But I understand what a lot of people was like.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really like the direction that MCU took with Spider-Man. I feel like they really dropped the ball here in hindsight. We were all excited when the first movie came out. Tom Holland, he's done phenomenal with the roles.
Keaton was great in the first film too.
Yeah, the villains were good. It's just the overall story is just like it's a snooze fest. It's very
not
PC.
so.
Yeah, it's not exciting. It's nothing.
See, No Way Home addresses you. Like No Way Home will address you personally.
I watched No Way Home. I like No Way Home. It's the
No, so you did watch No Way Home with Doctor Strange and everyone.
Which one was the
No, you didn't watch. No, you watched Homecoming. You watched Homecoming.
Okay,
yeah. No.
These names are very
You're gonna watch No Way Home. Yeah, that's like part of the contract here. Like you got to watch No Way Home. So we're gonna make sure.
I have to finish watching the second one first.
It is important.
You kind of don't have to.
Yes. Well, you can watch the credits.
Because I don't want to watch that again.
I mean, I have OCD. Like, I feel like I need to.
Go watch a recap of it on YouTube or something.
We'll explain. Yeah, I'll explain it to you.
All right.
Yeah.
It's that bad. All right.
We'll get past the OCD. I'm aware of your OCD.
It is.
But we're going to get to that. So we'll see. As far as overall, again, what direction is Spider-Man 4? They want to do more of the No Way Home. So we'll see what they do. I'm gonna take one more question here. We're gonna close this out. We'll do this here. Do you think there's a chance Sony could cancel Beyond the Spider-Verse?
Why would they?
Way. That's gonna make
$0
$1 billion even if people don't like it.
Zero chance right there.
That's
the best thing Sony has going.
We should have come out sooner.
That's all they have.
Yep.
That's literally because this is Craven and Madam Web and all this. No. Do your Spider-Verse, Miles Morales. They had a crazy cliffhanger that last film. Overall,
they're probably overthinking it now, but it's definitely coming.
It's Sony, so they're overthinking.
It's gonna take a little while, but we'll get it.
They're not thinking enough.
But no cancel. No, Sony knows they make money with that. They get Oscar buzz from the animated project, so they're not gonna give that away and. They're not going to sell their Spider-Man rights. That was just one of the dumbest rumors I heard.
Yeah.
Outside of Reeves Batman becoming Gunn's Batman, those kind of like the same level of
No,
dumbness.
Sony selling the Spider-Man definitely.
That's even more. That's like
way dumber. Yeah,
because it was a chance, for Reeves. It was but that conversation happened 2 years ago, y'all. Like people acting like this is new news that Gunn thought about using Patterson, So that was actually a possibility, but then Reeves like, these are receipts. This is what I'm doing out here. Okay, Gunn chilled out, but. Selling your Spider-Man rights as just business-wise, you're gonna lose so many shareholders. You're gonna lose people investing in your company because you sell the rights.
Sony's Japanese. It's a Japanese company. They
not happening.
They pretty business savvy.
Yeah,
maybe not making products, but they know how to make stuff.
They bought their money, man. It's like, no, that's come on now. I own the rights. Everyone has to come through me. For a live action Spider-Man, someone wants to make a Spider-Man movie, even if we
the golden ticket. That's like the golden ticket
right,
to the
exactly.
Willy Wonka factory. They ain't letting that go.
That's the money right there.
What is? I think only thing bigger than that is Batman rights, right?
Probably.
Spider-Man rights are just that's 1-2 right there. You think they're gonna give that away? Come on.
Nope.
That's crazy. So. Interesting stuff. As we close this down, next week we'll entertain other foolish ideas that people have in geek entertainment. But coming forward for this platform, well, first off, I have my other channels that I do as well. We got the Superman channel. We actually have a Batman channel as well too. Where we're going to be diving into.
To Syl over there in the Superman channel.
Oh, good stuff going with Superman.
You need to go over there and go subscribe to him. Okay.
Go subscribe to the Superman channel. Yeah, go subscribe to the Superman channel because we're covering obviously all the stuff leading up to the Superman film, but then we're going to be going through like retro stuff as well too. So having a lot of fun with the Superman channel.
Good stuff on that Batman channel already too. So
we're launching we got the Batman channel going and other things going. For YouTube algorithm reasons, we spread it out a little bit. So fun there. But then tonight, me and Carlos, we're doing the season finale of Creature Commandos. They got season 2
3 o'clock in the morning. 3 o'clock in the morning.
3 o'clock. I'm about to go take a power nap. I'm gonna be good. But we
tell me about it.
It was rewarding last week because we got the Batman reveal in real time, and that was really cool. The engagement we got for that. So this week, and again, I have no inside word on this one, but I'm expecting to see Superman. I think Gunn's gonna have Corn Sweat Superman fly through Creature Commandos. I really think we have a chance.
Why not?
Him or Supergirl.
Yeah. Free commercial.
I think there's a chance. For that. So we'll be live.
What if it's Lobo?
Watch party.
Maybe.
I'm expecting something big though, because you gave us Batman, and it would have been a whole sequence if he was comfortable with the suit. So I think you got Superman though. I think because if you think about it, after Batman, Carlos,
and we already know
it's gotta be Wonder Woman or Superman.
We already know Frank Grillo's character is going to be in Superman, so it's like it only makes sense to kind of shoot him in.
And it's supposed to be a post-credit scene with Creature Commandos as well too. And see that show there, I have very low expectations for Creature Commandos going into it, and I gotta say, when you make me care about a Weasel story, I'm like, oh yeah, you may have got me. You may have got me on that one. you may have got me with this show, and it's mature as heck. It's all over the place. Jules, I think you would actually binge it one day. I think you would actually be like
one day.
Only once we're in the clear with the whole Gunverse. I'm not giving him any ratings.
I only got one confusion. Didn't Weasel kind of die in the Suicide Squad, and it's technically canon?
Don't they kind of
at the end? He survived at the end. Yeah,
he survived. They showed him running around. Yeah, that's right. He was running around the post credit.
Yeah, he got up. He got up out of the water. Yeah. And so he's like a very interesting character in Creature Commandos, out of nowhere. But yeah, Jules. So you're saying you're gonna wait and see, is this world even gonna be a thing before even?
Yeah, I'm not giving him any ratings and let WBD think that I want that.
Oh. Okay.
All right. Fair enough.
Fair.
I'm just being
straight
honest.
to the point. Yeah. That's why you're here, Jules. That's why you to be honest. But
she ain't giving any free points out to anybody.
No, I'm not watching nothing.
One thing I think you will binge that one day because you like Peacemaker. I don't put you out there in front.
I did like.
Whoa.
Yeah. So I think you'll like this actually.
I
So,
did
You're
like
already a
Gunn
simp for
stuff
James Gunn,
before.
Jules. Come on.
I used to like James Gunn's work before this whole DC shit popped off, but
yeah, I know it's you know.
Come to the dark side. We have
Nope.
I will say though with Creature Commandos, I don't know if y'all feel this way. The writing that he has in this show though, it's probably top notch when it comes to superheroes. Yeah, like next to like maybe Guardians 3, but I do love how he's world building in this show. So like opening up everything, it's pretty cool.
No, Gunn is a pretty good writer actually, and in this show you give him like 20 minutes or so to make like a D-list character, you know, have a moment. He's actually good at that. And we'll see if 2 hours with Superman. We'll see what happens when he does that. But these smaller projects, he could do this the rest of his life. What he's doing on this show. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see overall. But that's what's going on that will be live on the Superman channel. I'll go live over there for the Creature Commandos season finale watch party. Me and Carlos will probably chat up about whatever's in the DCU news, and then we'll check out that show, see what's revealed. You know, we do that live. Carlos, outside of that, what's going on with you?
So since we're on the DC topic, I have some things rolling out for DC shows. I'm taking a little bit of your knowledge when it comes to the algorithm of YouTube. I started a new channel for Real Talk DC, but then I also have on my original channel, Real Talk Productions, I have a new show with Cuban Comic Fan. It's going to be called From Gotham to Metropolis, and that's going to be all things DC, where they're talking about figures, maybe some watch-alongs on there and stuff like that. So we got a lot of DC stuff coming for 2025 when it comes to Real Talk Productions. I'm really excited. So
cool, good stuff there. You definitely gotta find that YouTube algorithm. That's the
yes, sir.
That's the best advice I can give anyone. Speedy,
yeah,
and links in the description for Carlos as well. Speedy, what's going on with you?
Other than that, we did our first podcast for 2025 Geek Culture Congress podcast on the YouTube channel. We do it live, and then we put the audio version up on the podcast feed. I've been doing some Voltron videos whenever some new little tidbit of the live action comes out. Any news or anybody talking about anything. Nothing has hit recently, so been a little quiet on that side, but I'm still quietly waiting, trying to do different things on that. On the video side of things, other than talking about Marvel DC that we
because that Voltron about to go in production. So that's
go give me a subscriber there. Help me become a famous YouTuber one day, and I can quit my regular job. Okay.
Hey, amen to that. Amen to that, brother. Yeah. Amen to that, brother.
Check out Speedy's links.
One day.
Maybe I can
links
retire.
in the description. Links in the description for Speedy for sure. And Jules, you already know. Just follow her on Twitter, especially during Yankee season. It's very entertaining.
Yep. Handle is on the screen.
To check out Jules over there as well. And a side note, me and Jules, we got the Rumble show. It won't be. We're not doing it this week, but next
we'll be
Thursday,
back next
right?
Thursday. Yep.
Next
6 o'clock,
Thursday.
I believe it is. We'll be on live.
6 p.m. Eastern.
Make sure you send that link early.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah,
Big
World Views
World.
is definitely. I will say, like, if anyone in their feelings, it's probably ain't gonna be the show for you over there on Rumble. I'm just gonna say it like that, like, because it's some strong viewpoints, and we like to have the conversation, though. You know what I mean? And me and Jules don't always agree on everything. Like, there's a stronger version of that show. Maybe y'all never see, but on Rumble, we'll have that nice conversation. Overall, and it's about world news, almost like TMZ type stuff as well.
Yeah, I mean, if you like to think rationally and objective about things, then you'll probably know. If not, then
not everybody does.
We're not in your bubble.
We're breaking the bubble. That should be the name of the show. Breaking the bubble. No, that's not but there'll be a Jules on Rumble. Just search sylabdul on Rumble. You'll find the platforms over there. So we're gonna go and wrap on out of this one here. Appreciate all the support. Like I said, all the links are in the description. I'm just stalling until I get to my video. Okay, here we go. We out.
Stay tuned.
Sylabdul ink through speak true as he bring the news. Coffee talk, stay brew, kick back, get real comfortable. Here to stay, no on delay, make sure I be's informed. On the road, on the go, playing ball on that pavement floor. It's the lifestyle right now, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Guaranteed all week's going to always be on time. That's my word y'all heard from Il Divino Vegas mouth.